for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. What's up? It's our Coach Malachi Williams in the building. True Media Today USA Boxing. We are back. We the motherfucking truth. You know what I mean? It is what it is when it comes to this boxing shit. There's a lot of chickens coming home to roost. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by there's a lot of chickens coming home to roost. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I say on this show. It seems to always come to pass. I'm going to give you some examples. We are the only channel on YouTube, on the YTBC. We have a boxing criteria that is noted. I tell you guys that, you know, the difference between me and your favorite YouTube channels, I have a boxing criteria that I judge all fighters by, whether they are black, white, Hispanic, Asian, doesn't matter to me. I tell you guys that I care nothing about your personal feelings. I tell you guys that I care nothing about your race-based politics. If you're Hispanic and you don't like blacks, I don't give a fuck about you. If you're black and you hate other races, I don't give a fuck about you, whether they're Hispanic, white, or whatever. If you're white and you hate other blacks and Hispanic, Asians, I don't give a fuck about you. Your personal issues with other people are not my issues. Has nothing to do with boxing. When it comes to boxing, the only thing I care about is seeing the fighters get in the ring and fight. That's all I care about. I don't know what everybody else feelings are, but I don't care about that. You know, my channel is fuck the other side. You guys know that. I'm team fuck the other side. I run a subscribe off in a minute. I tell a subscriber, you can unsubscribe and leave anytime you motherfucker feel like it. I tell them that quick. I be quick to get rid of a motherfucker. You want to know why? Because if I get rid of you and you're gone, you're not the one that I wanted anyways. See, I don't want everybody. I only want a specific group of people. And the specific group of people that I want people who love the sport of boxing. If you love networks, this is not the channel for you. If you love promotional companies, this is not the channel for you. If you love promoters and financial advisors, this is not the channel for you. Hell, even if you love your favorite fighter's jock strap, you know, this is definitely ain't the channel for you. But let's give everybody a round of applause that's here. Let's get into the show. It's going to be a good one. We're going to have about 600 show up today. We're going to have about 600. I'm pretty sure, you know, you guys know me. I am the analytic man. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to have about 600 in here today. And the people that I'm going to have on here, I'm going to have three groups of people today. I'm going to have Team Tank. Tank can't do no wrong. Whatever any information comes out about Tank Davis that's good, I'm going to roll with that. Then we're going to have the hell with Tank, the Team Fuck Tank. Anything that comes out bad about Tank Davis, I'm going to rejoice about it. I like it, and you know, and anything come out good about him, I'm going to hate it. So those are two groups right there. And then you're going to have me. Me, I'm not Team Tank. I'm not Team the hell with Tank. I'm Team Boxing. All Coach Malachi Williams cares about, and I've been consistent since I started this channel 2 years ago. All I care about is, can we get the best fighters fight the best fighters? I don't care now about who the A side. I don't care now about who the B side. I don't care now about who the C side. Now I do want to see the A side fighters fight the A side fighters. I don't care now about if his baby mama bow-legged. I don't care now about if his cousin knock-kneed. I don't care nothing about if his homeboy sold keys in the hood. I don't care nothing about if he's a blood or a crip. I don't care nothing about he's a gangster disciple. All I care about is, can we get the top guys to fight each other? And I have problems with what's going on in boxing today. We have a bunch of fanboy YouTube channels that I don't like, but they watch me every day. And we have a bunch of fanboys and we have a bunch of casuals, and we have a bunch of fans, and we have a bunch of gangsters, we have a bunch of gangbangers, we have a bunch of John Gottis, we have a bunch of Sammy the Bulls, we have a bunch of Genghis Khans, we have a bunch of OG killers, we have a whole lot of stuff other than boxing. True. This is gonna be a good show today, I can promise you that. Let me go ahead and do this. Unbelievable. Gervonta Davis, Hector Garcia, now sold. Rick Glaser put out 61,000. I brought Rick Glaser on this show, and every time I bring him on the show, what do I do, guys? I say, Rick, where do you get your numbers from? And he tells us exactly where he get them from. From a cable network attorney, LA-based attorney that specializes in, this is what he does. Anything going pay-per-view, whatever, anything dealing with ratings and stuff like that, he's able to find those numbers out because of the field in which he works in. He doesn't give us the name, but when I bring him on here, I always ask him that. Watch every time he's been on the show. Now, we've heard 200,000. We heard Tank did 225,000. Tank did Hector Garcia. We heard Hector Garcia did 350,000. And we heard that Tank Hector Garcia sold 400,000 pay-per-view buys. The question I have is this: how can all of these things be true? Of course, somebody's lying. We know that. And all the people who gave these numbers are quote-unquote credible sources that put these numbers out, and they got it from their sources. What does this have to do with boxing? Nothing. Shout out to Swab. Swab, what's going on, fam? What's going on, fam? What's going on? Shout out to Swab Boxing. Now, let's go ahead and read this. According to Rick Glaser, Gervonta Davis and Hector Garcia pay-per-view numbers sold only 61,000 buys. The usual suspects, such as Dan Rafael, says his source told him that Gervonta Davis sold 200,000 pay-per-view buys. I have the receipt. I'm going to show it to you. Ellie Nutsack, Ellie suck on a nigga Nutsack, he said that his sources told him, and I think he said his sources was Ron Katz. I guess they say Ron Katz was the janitor at the PBC. He's the guy that sweep the floors or give Al Heyman back massages or something like that. Ellie Setback saw the video, said that his source told him that Gervonta Tank Davis and Hector Garcia sold 400,000 pay-per-view buys. Interesting. Punch Drunk Boxing, another YouTuber, been on here for a while. He says his sources told him that Gervonta Davis, Hector Garcia sold 350,000 pay-per-view buys. Interesting. The boxing scene, they said they have a staff writer, boxing scene staff, says that they've confirmed Gervonta Davis versus Hector Garcia sold between 200,000 and 225,000 pay-per-view buys. Interesting. Boxing scene, Punch Drunk, Ellie Nutsack, Ellie Sucker Nigga Nutsack, Dan Rafael, Rick Glaser, and probably some more people all have different numbers. All of these guys are credible sources, huh? Let's find out how credible they are. Wow. Okay. A boxing, Stephen Espinosa nor the PBC have said anything. The only ones that would really know these numbers that can give them out is Stephen S. Showtime and the PBC. Question I have for you guys is this: have you heard anything from Showtime saying what Gervonta Davis and Hector Garcia pay-per-view numbers are? The answer is no. Has anyone from the PBC did a press conference and came out and said, hey, my name is PBC, and we here to confirm on the record that Gervonta Davis and Hector Garcia sold 200,000, 300,000, 250,000, 350,000, 400,000 pay-per-view buys? The answer is no. Prior to me having Rick Glaser on my show, where he openly told my audience that Gervonta Davis, Hector Garcia sold 61,000 pay-per-view buys. Prior to that, the very next day, this is what I've noticed. My personal observation. The very next day, Ellie Sucker Nigga Nutsack, Boxing Scene, Dan Rafael, Punsh Drunk, and other YouTubers magically came up with the Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia pay-per-view numbers. Magically. It doesn't matter to me what any fighter sells from a pay-per-view standpoint. Let me repeat this. It doesn't matter to me what any fighter sells from a pay-per-view standpoint. Do you want to know why it doesn't matter to me? Because I don't get any of the money. True, true, true. And it doesn't take away from the fighter's talents in the ring. But I got something to say about this. But this is not the fans' fault. I don't blame the fans. I don't blame the fans. I don't blame the fanboys. You know who I blame in this? This is the Floyd Mayweather effect. It's the PBC effect. It's the Showtime effect. In the old days of HBO, it's the HBO effect as well. Boxing fans and casuals alike all scream about how much of a star their favorite fighter is. And they base it, their love for their fighter, based on the pay-per-view numbers and live gates to justify this claim of how big a star their fighter is. But when we hear the numbers, or should I say, when these same boxing fans and casuals hear numbers that they don't like, that doesn't show their favorite fighter in the favorable light, they reject the information. And when they hear numbers that they want to hear about their favorite fighter, they accept the information. Instead of you being fans of the sport of boxing, you want to be fans of promotional companies. You want to be fans of media pundits. You want to be fans of networks. You want to be fans of propaganda. You want to be fans of your favorite YouTube channel. And you want to be fans of financial advisors. We need to get back to being fans of the sport of boxing instead of being fans of our favorite narrative. Form your own opinion and believe what and whom you want to believe. But let's get back to boxing. I don't give a damn if you like Rick Glaser or not. Your issues with Rick ain't my issues with Rick. I don't give a fuck. And I'm not a part of defend Rick Glaser defense team. He a grown ass man. He can do what the fuck he want to do. Father, I don't give a damn. Myself. I don't care if you like the boxing scene or not, or if you like Ellie Nutsack or any of these guys or who put their numbers out. I don't care if you like any of those guys or not. I don't care. Let's get back to the sport of boxing. Now, what I am good at doing, I like to take your words and throw it right back at you. So we're going to take your words and throw it right back at you. But I want to get on you networks today. Stephen Espinosa, you're part of the blame of, you're part of the problem of this that's going on today in boxing. Like I said before, Mr. Money Mayweather, you was part of it as well. Booger Ray Leonard, you was part of it as well. Dan Rafael, all of the media pundits, you guys, the old media, as Dante Boxing Nation would say, the guys who come from the old guard, you're part of the problem as well. I'm going to break it down today and show you how. Now, again, form your own opinions of who you want to believe, guys. It doesn't make me no never mind. I don't give a fuck. I don't pledge allegiance to none of these niggas. You know what I pledge allegiance to? The sport of boxing. True, true, true. Let's go. Do you guys believe we are all being lied to by these sources say reporters and in the can, nut riding, begging for an interview, want to be in a good light, in a good light and good favor of my favorite fighter or promotional company YouTube channels? Or do you believe that they are all telling the truth? Let's go. Let's get into the show. I'm probably gonna ruffle some feathers today. So with this, what I want to do too. Because I want to run some niggas off the block today. Shout out to Swift 718. Hey, okay. We're dropping that half for bam, hundo on your boy. Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Run them off the block today. Run them off the block. Let's do that today. We're going to have about 600 in here today. Maybe more. Swift says, he said, gotta believe Slick Rick. Can't imagine 250,000 people wanting to pay $80 to see Tank fight Hector Garcia. These sources never announced numbers until Rick announced his. It's all cap. I noticed PBC never announces numbers that they'd be boasting if they were good. So I see what you're saying. Yeah, the PBC, if these numbers did the numbers that Ellie and these other guys said they did, they would have made an announcement on that. But that's neither here nor there. And I think I think that's what the problem is right there. Shout out to Swift 718.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that a half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Swift says, he said Mike Cobb and Dan Rafael are regularly ridiculed for having faulty intel. Now all of a sudden their sources are credible and gossip. I mean, it's subjective to the individual. Again, guys, I think we're making too much of all of this. But I'm gonna tell you how we got here. I'm gonna tell you how we got here, right? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna tell you how we got here. Just hold on. I got you. I'm gonna bring it today. Okay. This video right here, ES News. This is Ellie. He said that his source told him. I want to show you this shit. His source is you can see the video right here. It says Gervonta Davis versus Hector Garcia did around 400,000 pay-per-view butts. The people down here in the chat are not buying it. I looked at a lot of the comments. A lot of these people are not buying it. A lot of these people are saying that Ellie is a nut hugger for the PBC. That's what they're saying here, right? And those are the facts. Because he is. Again, I don't care nothing about your favorite YouTube channel. Them niggas ain't down with me, fuck them. Now, before we get into the show, let me go ahead and give you a special PSA announcement. I am team fuck the other side. True Media Today USA Boxing. All I care about is the sport of boxing. That's it. If you want to leave today, I think you should leave. If you think I'm going to spin your narrative and you don't like Coach Malachi Williams, go ahead and leave, unsubscribe, and don't come back over here. I don't care who you is. I don't need you. I'm good at what I do. Okay? Watch how many people show up today. Riley, give them a special PSA announcement.
Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck them cheap-ass cigars. Fuck your yuck mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out of my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
Dude says, he said, you talk a whole lot of ish, fam. Chill. Nah, I can talk shit. I want to talk shit. If you don't like it, leave. If you don't like it, leave. It's simple as that. I ain't asked you to come over here. You ain't never got to come back. I don't give a fuck about what you think. Fuck you, nigga. Remember that. Anyway, and phone lines will be open. Now, this what's going on, guys. Showtime, PBC, HBO. I remember a time, and I'm gonna have my brother Blood Boxing call the show too. I remember a time, man, when I was watching boxing growing up with Mike Tyson days and stuff like that. Don King and Bob Arum and all these different guys. Like we didn't get into, and I remember it like it was yesterday. We didn't get into, man, Mike Tyson did 2 million buys and he the A-side and this and that. A lot of these companies, promotional companies and stuff like that, they used to put this information out there. You know what I mean? And they put their stamp of approval on these numbers and they put it out there to really show what the gate is and stuff like that. And fans used to be interested in it, but it wasn't, but boxing fans in that time, we didn't use that as talking points. It's arguments for why we should or shouldn't get fights, right? So Floyd Mayweather is the one that, once it became Money May, he popularized the numbers. He popularized, hey, I broke, like I said before, I broke the LifeGate record. You know, I broke the pay-per-view records. I did this, I did that. So that Floyd Mayweather was the one that popularized that. Because I don't remember hearing Mike Tyson talking about that. I don't remember Mike Tyson talking about that. You know what I mean? About it's Mike Tyson. Yeah, I broke the live gates, guys, and I did 2 million pay-per-views, and I'm the A side, I'm the cash guy. I never heard Mike Tyson saying all that, right? Because before Floyd broke the records, it was Mike Tyson. You see what I'm saying? So Floyd was the one that popularized that. But I'm not blaming Floyd Mayweather to this degree. I'm gonna tell you why. That was a part of Floyd's salesmanship. That was a part of Floyd's salesmanship in order to promote his Money Mayweather brand that he was selling to the public. So Floyd sold all of that to his boxing fans, right? Floyd was the one that sold that. So what I see going on online is still it's the Floyd Mayweather effect. Even with the media, even with these media pundits who used to work for ESPN, and shout out to Steve Kim, man. Salute to Steve Kim. Shout out to Free Rick Ross, Lil Boosie, shout out to Galen, shout out to everybody who, the team, right? But they, some of these guys, they never when Floyd used to go on this tantrum and talk about this and that, numbers and stuff, when he was on Dancing with the Stars and after he fought Oscar De La Hoya and when he was on WWE and all of that stuff there, that was a part of Floyd Mayweather's moniker. Now, Floyd is a retired fighter. Now what's taking over the boxing scene is the fanages. Floyd Mayweather was the ushering in of the fanages and promoters, in my opinion. Because by Floyd talking about numbers and this and that, and I did that so much, now you're hearing the same thing, even from fighters today. Some fighters, not all, but some fighters, maybe 1 or 2, right? And Leonard Ellaby played a hand in this as well. Because Leonard always talks about, Tank Davis's box office. Hold on, guys, let me turn this light on. Tank Davis's box office. But guess what? That's what Leonard is supposed to do. Leonard Ellaby is a promoter. He's supposed to promote his fighter. So Leonard is not wrong for saying his fighter's box office. There's a reason why Showtime do not release pay-per-view numbers. And they haven't released any numbers since 2014. I mean in boxing that I know of. And what I mean by that is Stephen Espinosa, Showtime exec, number came out. This is an official statement from Showtime that this fighter did such and such pay-per-view numbers. You know how I know? I had a receipt right here to my left. I'm going to show it to you. So that was the old school way of doing things that Floyd did. But now we're in a new school era with streaming. Now that we have illegal streaming, that has stopped a lot of the bragging about the pay-per-view numbers because the streaming is killing it. That's one. But 2, another thing that's killed these pay-per-views is you have a promotional company who wants to put everything on pay-per-view. They want to make non-pay-per-view fights. They want to take non-pay-per-view fights and put them on pay-per-view. So you're oversaturating the market with pay-per-view. That's a combination as well. So in order for some of these, your favorite YouTube daddies, as Mark Nash would say, shout out to Mark Nash, in order for them to get special favors from certain fighters to get an interview or to talk to the janitor who may work in the parking lot of the toilet bowl next to the PBC, ESPN, and Showtime offices, they got to kiss ass, and when they get them on their panels, they do A, B, C, and D because they still want to have some kind of access. Because a lot of these guys that's on YouTube, they really wanted to be a part of the mainstream media. They want to be the reporters and stuff like that. And the YouTube content creators are the reporters, and they are the, you know what I mean? So in the modern day era. So what it is you got guys, they want to get special favors. So in order to get their special favors, whatever that may be, they're willing to toe the company line. So you have Dan Rafael sources say that fighter A did 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 pay-per-view buys. You have Ellie Setback say, And you know, oh my gosh, you know, you're a PBC fighter? Oh yes, you're a PBC fighter. You're the greatest fighter in the world. My gosh, you're the greatest. Is anywhere I can touch the ball? Oh my God, you're just the greatest fighter in the world. Oh, I mean, I think you'll knock out George Foreman, Tank. Tank, I think Tank, you hit so hard. You know, for you to be 135, but you hit so hard. You know, I mean, if you fought King Kong or Godzilla, so that's the hyperbole there. And in order for him to stay in that position, he has to get on his knees and drink liquids. And they know that he's willing to be there, you know, he's willing to put out their propaganda. It doesn't have to be true or not, just put that out. Because he has a following, he's been in the game for a long time. Then you'll have other reporters like Dan Rafael. He's in the bag as well. Mike Carpenter works for ESPN, so, you know, he's going to do whatever ESPN tell him to do. Understandably so. I'm trying to show you guys the game, though. I'm trying to show you the game. You have people who like Dan Rafael. You got people who don't like Dan Rafael. You got people who like Mike Carpenter. You got people who don't like Mike Carpenter. You got people who like Rick Glaser. You got people who don't like Rick Glaser. You got people who like Tank Davis. You got people who don't like Tank Davis. So depending on which side of the coin that you fall on, that's what you're going to believe. Fact of the matter is, neither one of us know what these pay-per-views are doing because PBC or North Showtime releases their numbers. And if they don't release their numbers, how the hell me and you know what any of these fighters are doing? You know what the answer is? We don't know.
True, true, true.
So why the hell should it matter? The only way it's going to matter is unless you are the Capadonna that goes around online and want to brag about how successful your fighter is. My body did 400,000 pay-per-views. My body's a cash cow. My body did this, my body did that. Sign the contract. See, the fans and promoters are very, very interested in it because they live in their lives vicariously through their favorite fighters. So they feel when Tank go to the 5-star restaurant and eat caviar that they getting full. Oh, they want to be on 10, 11, 12-hour lives all goddamn day, arguing and debating, threatening each other, cursing each other out, muting each other, saying everything under the goddamn sun. Guess what they're not saying? Man, let's see, can we get some of these top guys fight each other?
True, true, true.
It's ironic. These guys rather argue stuff all day. It's like, dude, you don't want to see no fights. You niggas want to have a WWE tongue wrestling match all goddamn day about shit that we'll never know the answers about. You want to know why? Because Showtime ain't going to tell us what it is, and PBC ain't going to tell us what it is. So if you believe Rick Glaser is lying, and guess what? You have a right to believe Rick Glaser is lying. I'm not saying he is lying. I'm not saying he's not lying. It's subjective to you. But don't tell me Rick Glaser is lying, but Dan Rafael is telling me the truth. Don't tell me Dan Rafael is lying, but Ellie Nutsack is telling me the truth. Don't tell me Ellie Nutsack is lying, but Boxer Scene is telling me the truth. If you believe one is lying, you got to believe all of them is lying. If that's what you believe. That's my position. If you don't believe one, then don't tell me to believe the other one. Fact of the matter is, we don't know. It ain't got nothing to do with goddamn Tank fighting the top fighters and Ryan Garcia fighting the top fighters and Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford and Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk and all these other guys fighting the top guys. Because you know my motto over here. If you tell me your fighter is King Kong, his ass better be fighting Godzilla. If you tell me your fighter is Optimus Prime, he better be fighting Megatron. If you tell me your fighter is Bumblebee, he better be fighting Soundwave. If you tell me your fighter is Lion-O, he better be fighting Mum-Ra. If you tell me your fighter is He-Man, he better be fighting Skeletor. I've been consistent with that since I started my YouTube channel. Period. So don't go, I ain't impressed with none of your fighters like that, to be honest with you. And in my opinion, none of your fighters are stars, in my opinion. None of them. Those days are over with. Those days went out the door with Floyd Mayweather And those days went out the door with Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. And the only guy that's a hangover from somewhere around that era is Canelo Alvarez. And then you got Anthony Joshua over there in the UK, and then Tyson Fury. So I'm just saying with me, don't try to convince me who your favorite fighter is, because I ain't impressed like that. I'm impressed with what he does in the ring, his level of competition. Who has he fought? Shout out to Two-Tone the Superstar.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Two-Tone saying Floyd Mayweather took that blueprint from 50 Cent. His style was boring to casuals, so he used different factors to market himself. Smart. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all marketing at the end of the day. But what I'm saying is, this is where it came from. It all came from Floyd. It came from Showtime. It came from Leonard Ellaby. Came from the PBC. Came from Don King, and they used to put all this out there to show how successful their events were. None of these fighters are on that level today. The only one we still got holding on probably is Canelo. But outside of Canelo, maybe in North America, none of these fighters are on that level today. None of them. So believe whatever reporter you want to believe. If you want to believe Dan Rafael, believe him. If you want to believe boxing scene, believe him. If you want to believe Ellie sucker nigga nutsack, believe him. If you want to believe Rick Glaser, believe him. If you don't want to believe any one of them, don't believe him. But don't come to me like you just want to get to the truth, because you don't want to get to the truth. If you Team Tank Davis, you only want information that confirms what you want to believe. And I tell you guys about confirmation bias all the time. If it confirms what you want to believe, you accept it. If you hear information that doesn't confirm what you want to believe, you reject it. So everybody is accepting and rejecting right now. But I ain't gonna never believe no YouTube channel. I can tell you that. If I was to believe someone, I would be more inclined to believe a Dan Rafael, a Mike Carpenter, or a Rick Glaser, someone that's has a history of putting these numbers out. But I ain't gonna believe no YouTube channel. A YouTube channel can't tell me a goddamn thing. Because I know you want the special favors. Don't even believe my YouTube channel. None of these guys on YouTube are big dogs. None of them, including myself. Just regular niggas with YouTube platforms, and depending on who they pledge allegiance to, they are going to lie and toe the company line for their favorite fighter. They're going to do it for interviews. They're going to do it to be in the good graces of the PBC, ESPN, Showtime. That's what it's all about. Your favorite YouTube channels have been compromised. So you damn sure can't believe what they say when it comes to numbers, because they don't know a goddamn thing. And guess what? Coach Malachi Williams don't know a goddamn thing neither.
True.
But guess what? Nor do I care. Shout out to Martin King Boxing. Shout out to Mr. Calderon.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Mr. Calderon he said, Coach, what's happening, man? He said, I've never seen so many grown men defending another grown man that don't even know they exist. I'm going to tell you the truth over here, man. That's what I'm going to tell you the truth over here. Again, I ain't trying to be down with no niggas. Not me. I don't give a fuck. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. Y'all know I ain't trying to be down with nobody. I ain't trying to be down with your favorite YouTube channel. I'm just not. I ain't friends with none of them niggas. Shout out to Mr. I Know Boxing.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Hey, what did you say, Mr. Calderon? Mr. I Know Boxing. He said, Coach, don't be surprised that AB versus Lundy sell more than Tank versus Hector. I don't know. I don't know, fam. I don't know. Now, you know the problem I have, Mr. I Know Boxing? The problem I have is this. This is the problem. You have... This is the frustrating part about this entire thing, guys. You have fighters that will use, I'm selling this, I'm doing that, as a pretext to not fight another fighter that is a top level fighter like himself. This is why I have a problem with this sign the contract, 60, 40, 70, 30, 80, 20, take whatever we give you. My fighter the A side. My fighter on Star. My fighter did 300,000-400,000 pay-per-view buys. Your fighter can't sell. The reason why I detest that so much is because you'll have fans online using fighters' talking points. Old school talking points that Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe used back in the day. They'll use that as talking points to justify why their fighters should not fight tough competition.
True, true, true.
They always want to see their fighter fight tomato cans, hobos, pork chop willies, Chico sticks, hog head cheese sandwiches, sugar water. And they be on live all day. I don't subscribe from damn near every YouTube channel I used to subscribe to. It's only like maybe 6 or 7 I watch. Niggas all day. Do you want to see the fights? 1 minute you gang. 1 minute I got shooters, homie. Next minute, you's a bitch. Next minute, drop the addy. Are we talking about boxing? Or are you talking about drop the addy? I'm gonna pull up. How we went from wanting to see Crawford Spence, Wilder Joshua, Canelo, David Benavidez. How we went from all that to, guess what? These niggas don't even know you. Errol Spence ain't coming to none of you niggas' YouTube channels to give you an interview. Terrence Crawford ain't coming to none of you niggas' YouTube channels to give you an interview. Tank Davis probably ain't gonna do it. Maybe you can get Agent Broner. I ain't team takeover. Don't give a fuck about the interview. I'm not team Devin Haney. I'm not team Terrence Crawford. I'm not team Errol Spence. I'm not team Dan Rafael, Rick Glaser, boxing scene, any of these guys. I'm team boxing. Therein lies the problem. Y'all been riding nuts so much that you forgot the purpose of why you started your boxing channels. I ain't started my channel for no interviews. The people come here to see me. I'm the star over here. I didn't build this platform based on interviews. I'm a fan just like you. I just want to see the best fighters fight the best fighters. That's it. But you're using old school talking points, and Stephen Espinosa is partly to blame of that. Floyd Mayweather. This is the residuals of the Floyd Mayweather era. Now, if you want to use pay-per-view numbers just to see how well you did, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I ain't finna have no civil war about some niggas that I don't know. I ain't finna have no civil war about no promotion of company that I don't get a check from. I don't get no money from Rick Glaser. I don't get no money from ESPN, Top Rank, PBC, Matchroom. I don't get no money from none of them. And your favorite YouTube channel, I also don't get no money from them. They don't like me. They hate my guts. I don't give a fuck. I'm team fuck the other side. So this is what we have going on. If you hate Rick Glaser and you love Tank Davis, then Rick Glaser 61,000 pay-per-view buys for Hector Garcia and Tank Davis, that you believe that's a lie. And if you love Tank Davis, you love the PBC, you love Dan Rafael and all these other guys, Ellie Sucker Nigga Nutsack, if you love those guys, then Tank Davis did 400,000 pay-per-view buys. But guess what I want to tell you guys? And if you love the boxing scene and all those other guys, then they did 350,000 buys or 200,000 buys or 250,000 buys. But guess what? Ask them this. Did Showtime release those numbers officially? Did the PBC release those pay-per-view numbers officially? The answer is no. And if the answer is no, then guess what? Everybody that's involved that's putting these numbers out could be lying. What does that have to do with Tank and Ryan Garcia fight allegedly supposed to be coming up? Nothing. But the problem is Leonard Ellaby. Let's pivot to Leonard Ellaby. Y'all used to use numbers to justify how big a star you are. Oh, but Tank is a star. You know, he's doing massive numbers at the gate. $5 million is not massive numbers. I mean, it's massive to me, but, you know, in comparison to the past, it's not massive numbers. Or just reaching history with Canelo. But he's throwing massive numbers, you know. He's a star. He's a pay-per-view star. So Leonard Ellaby, you, Showtime, PBC, Dan Rafael's, and your favorite YouTube channels, you guys are the reason why those fans and casuals are like that today online. They are your children. You guys gave birth to them. Because now they are obsessed with that, and they use your talking points to justify why we should not get certain fights. A-side, B-side, pay-per-view star. Your body ain't no pay-per-view star. Ryan Garcia never sold a pay-per-view before, but I don't see y'all talking about that. Y'all ain't saying what shit. Ryan Garcia ain't never fought on pay-per-view before, so he don't deserve to get a shot with Tank. He don't deserve to get the majority split or 40%. Shout out to Dr. Paul Evans. Hey, okay. Dropping them 5 pounds on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, shout out and blessings to the Queen Lisa Bales, who was under the weather listening in. Get well soon. All right, that's cool. Shout out to Real Dude Uprising. Hey, okay. For dropping that half for dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, you were spot on. He said, shout out to you, my brother. He said most nowadays are so caught up in the fighter that they have no real love for the sport of boxing. He said fans and promoters are stifling boxing. He said, I miss Don King, the matchmaker. Hey, Real Dude Uprising. That's the whole point of this show, fam. That's the entire point of this show. If you believe one line, all of them lying. If that's what you want to believe. Again, and this is what I hated about Errol Spence. Because not him as a fighter or even as a person, but what I hated was me being a fan of the sport of boxing when you start using A-side, big fish, wrong side of the street, leave your promoter, 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, take whatever we give you. Your fans took all of that and ran with it, and they still talking like that right now to this day. And you use it as a pretext for why you should not fight this guy from Omaha, Nebraska. So fans are doing the exact same thing now. Oh, Devin Haney ain't no star. Devin Haney can't sell. He don't deserve to be in the ring with Tank Davis. Belts don't matter. Dude, when I was watching boxing, just even coming up in the 80s, even the 90s, I never heard Mike Tyson say this, dog. I never heard Evander Holyfield say this. I never heard Larry Holmes say this. I never heard Julio Cesar Chavez say this. Never. Floyd Mayweather was the one that ushered that in, made it, popularized it. I never heard Oscar De La Hoya say this. So a lot of you dudes online, you are children of Floyd Mayweather. He gave birth to a lot of you guys. Well, I like to call it the Mayweather effect. Because you'll argue these numbers that you have no knowledge of, because Showtime didn't confirm the numbers. Showtime didn't say a goddamn thing, and the PBC didn't say a goddamn thing. So if Showtime ain't talking, PBC ain't talking, how the hell you gonna believe a nigga on YouTube?
True.
He said, why you give Rick Glaser a platform? Because I want to. VA Money Group. I give Rick Glaser a platform because I want to. Me and Rick are right. I like Rick Glaser. Why you over here watching? If you don't like Rick Glaser, you don't have to watch him. Simple as that. And if you see that I have Rick Glaser on my show, don't watch the show. It's my choice. If you don't like it, you know what you can do. I told you that many a times. Okay? Shit, I don't give a fuck about how you feel about, or anybody feel about any guest that I have on my show. If I have a guest on my show and you don't like that guest, guess what? There's two things you can do. Not watch and unsubscribe. It's simple. Just like you had free will to bring your ass over here, you can have free will to send your ass back home. Don't give a fuck who you is, where you come from, how big, small, you don't make me no mind. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna speak my mind. It's my platform. You don't like it? Leave. Shout out to 703's finest. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, Coach, we need a few. He said, Coach, we FW. He said, you hard. I see what you're saying. He said, Coach, we fuck with you. He said, you hard because you keep it 1,000. Keep up the good work. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Phone lines, I'm finna drop the phone lines. Shout out to Damian Wester. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Shout out to my brother Retro.
Super chat received.
Retro, what's going on, fam?
Playtime's over, boy.
That's my brother Blood. I'm gonna have Blood call into the show. I'm finna drop the line so my brother can call in. Then what did he say? He said, Coach, I didn't know you was collecting money for Rick to down the PBC, according to an old chat member and a YouTuber with the last name Drunk. Yeah, man, you know, I ain't, man. Listen, again, I'm gonna tell you like I tell everybody else. If you watch my show, if you watch my program on Damon Bennett, Damon, I've been on for 2 years. Go look at my old videos. Before I even met a Rick Glaser, I was always critical of basically it was Deontay Wilder. It started out with Wilder because I ended up getting flack from them before I even met a Rick Glaser. Just look at my old archives. And then two, I don't worry about what another YouTube channel say about me because I probably don't give a fuck about them niggas anyways. I came on the scene, come to the trap and took over the trap. There's a lot of niggas don't like me. Guess what? They over here watching me right now though. So I'm gonna tell you like I told the other people. Don't never come over here and tell me what another nigga saying about me. You want to know why? Because he is not important enough for me to even know what he's saying about me. I don't care. And I'm not just saying this to you, my brother Damon, but I'm just saying, and I tell people this, ask anybody who ever called me and told me, man, what's the name just said this about you. Man, somebody on the YouTube channel, they're on the panel right now, they calling your name out. You know what I tell them all? I said, don't never call me and tell me about what another nigga said about me. I don't care. They're not that important for me to worry about what they say about me. I'm the shit over here. Period. Simple as that. They say, Coach, you arrogant. Yes. They say, Coach, you cocky. Yes. They say, Coach, you talk a lot of shit. Yes. All of that is true. But they watch me every day. Phone lines is open, 530-494-9636. How many likes we got? We got over 200. We got to get the likes up. I'm finna drop the phone. The only person I want to hear from right now is my brother Blood Boxing. That's the only person I want to hear from. Blood, you can Blood, hit me up whenever you get time. Because Blood Boxing has been on the scene for a long time. Blood Boxing is probably one of my favorite YouTube channels. Because Blood Boxing has an old school criteria like me. That brother love the sport of boxing. And, you know, he don't take no shit. He don't take no shit. And that's one of the brothers I really, really love out here. And I met him personally. I told you this YouTube shit fake anyways. I seen dudes on YouTube, they be down 1 minute, and then the next minute they dissing each other, cussing each other out, threatening each other, saying they gonna shoot them, kill them, pull up, come to my city, all that stuff. So the dudes who friends today on YouTube are being enemies tomorrow. That's how this works. That's how this works since I've been here. The dudes that are friends today, they be enemies tomorrow. So I don't give a fuck about what a nigga on YouTube got to say about me, shit. Hold on. Blood, hold on. Don't hang up, Blood. Hold on. Hold on, Blood, hold on. Come on, man. Don't you do this to me. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to connect the roadcaster.
Okay.
Hold on, blood. Don't hang up. Let me do this. Hold on. All right, there we go. Blood, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. Listen, I got my brother Blood Boxing on the line right now. I have my brother Blood Boxing on the line. Let's give my brother a round of applause. Blood, check this out, man. I called you specifically because you're one of the pioneers in the game. You've been around before a lot of these new booties came on the scene, and you've seen a lot of the agendas. You've seen a lot what's going on. You've seen dudes be down one day, fall out with each other the next day. You've been through the sign the contract, 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, take whatever we give you. You've been threatened before. You've been through these internet gangsters saying they got shooters, and these guys are just that are overly zealous about promotional companies, fighters, advisory companies, TV networks, reporters. You've been through that. So explain to me, because I wasn't around when you was around on YouTube. Explain to me where you personally start seeing this argument, this debate, the threats and all this stuff that's going and the propaganda that's coming around from a lot of these old heads that's been around for a while. Not all of them, but some of them, and people who pledged allegiance to made certain alliances with certain networks and promotional companies and stuff like that. Tell me where you started seeing that at. What year?
Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly. Thanks a lot for having me, Coach. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on. You're right. I have been on boxing social media since social media came around. In the early days of YouTube, it would usually take 3 to 5 days to get the numbers. The reported numbers came from Boxing Insiders. There was no big debate on the reported numbers, but in present boxing, the reported numbers are extremely rangy now. YouTube uploaders do not have the ability to report accurate numbers because they simply are not on the inside to obtain the network statistical data. One would have to be attached to a network to obtain accurate data. In the case of Rick Glaser, his information comes from an attorney that works directly with networks, meaning network TV. Not one YouTube page that I know has ever worked in network TV. In fact, most YouTube uploaders are not even capable of holding a job at your local 7-Eleven. They have never even worked in network TV on an entry-level position. Their pawn-like subscriber base thinks that the information that they grab out of the thin air is accurate because they may have a decent subscriber count. Because I've been around for so long, I know that their source is usually somebody that they have interviewed from a fighter's camp, or a family member or a friend of a fighter, or the janitor outside that you were talking about. The source is not somebody that works for or with a TV network. I've seen YouTubers like Michelle Phelps and others do some work for streaming apps, but outside of the streaming app that they are connected to, they do not have any statistical data, right? If people want to keep believing that, that's on them. And I'm sure they will report whatever numbers are given to them in hopes of staying in the good graces of a fighter, promoter, trainer, or family member of a fighter. These YouTube pages report numbers that somebody affiliated with a fighter wants them to report. What's the reward? Credentials, exclusives with trainers, managers, family members of fighters, and perhaps the targeted fighter if they're lucky. So if you're a smart fight fan, you should exclude YouTube pages from being capable of reporting numbers. I've been around for a long time. I know what game all of these guys are playing. They don't work for networks. They're not smart enough to hold down a job, and that's why they work on YouTube, most of these guys. That's for people that are affiliated with networks or have been affiliated with the networks in the past, or maybe have a solid connection with a network employee or the insider. They too have an ulterior motive. There may be something in it for them since pay-per-view numbers are now being used to measure a fighter's star power, and pay-per-view numbers are also being used as a barrier to protect investments and prevent big fights from happening. Therefore, we have network puppets and affiliates playing damage control. And these behaviors are unacceptable as a fight fan. This does not give us any answer as to who's the best fighter. It is a promoter's and a company's job to exaggerate their fighters' accomplishments. Pay-per-view numbers are being used to manipulate purse splits, build barriers, claim star power, and it may be in the best interest of a boxing journalist to play ball. So why am I supposed to believe that you have accurate statistical data when you have never even worked with a network on the entry level? That's a joke. I'm going to believe Glazer's numbers, and that's how I will conclude my thoughts for this matter. As for Dan Rafael, he reported the same numbers. Listen to this, coach. He reported the same numbers as Rick Glaser on the Wilder numbers. And people wanted to disregard his numbers then. They both reported 75,000. Now they want to hold his numbers in high regard. How many of these Wilder extremes rejected Dan Rafael's Wilder numbers? Boom! Confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Something you always talk about, Coach. It's damage control, and it's an unorganized group effort by a bunch of online puppets that are not traditional fight fans. You know what, Coach? You are the savior of the online boxing world. The only brother that covers a variety of subject matter and keeps it real, and that's what I have to say.
Man, Blood, I appreciate that, fam. You hit the nail right on the head. I kind of, line up. I see a lot of what you're saying. The thing is like you said, a lot of these guys, all of them are compromised. And because they want to get that special interview, they want to have access to certain fighters' fathers. They want to have access to certain team members in the fighters' camp that, they're willing to get on their platforms, lie, say whatever, dick ride or whatever in order to keep that relationship, and I just never, I never been the one that's been willing to do that because my channel is not based on interviews. My channel is based on me having a love and passion for the sport. And by me doing that, you know what I mean? I took some criticism. I've been under fire. I've been threatened with death from just all types of niggas, from VA Money Group to any other nigga online, whatever the case may be, YouTube channels. Man, I don't give a fuck, Blood. I really don't care. These niggas is a bunch of losers. They two-figure niggas, internet gangsters, never broke a law in their life. When the white man come, they shaking in their boots, and they're gonna be the first one testifying when the handcuffs come on. But when they want to come over here and threaten me and be MC Gusto, I don't believe you. But
they're not going to do nothing, man. They're never going to do nothing. There's never been anything that's come out of this boxing community. The real fighters come from the gaming industry. That's why you see KSI and guys like that actually fighting on networks and actually being the main event to some of these fighters and things like that, right? These guys online, they're a bunch of jokes, man. They don't really understand the sport. They don't understand that people are looking for credentials. They're looking for exclusives. That's why the numbers are so rangy, because they might have a connection with maybe somebody involved with their camp. They're trying to get that exclusive interview, so they're going to report whatever numbers are given to them. They're just puppets, man. They're just fanboys having their fanboy moment and being connected to a team, whether it be the janitor outside that's wiping down the toilets. It don't matter, right? They'll upgrade that person and make them a trainer, right? And they're just nothing but a janitor. That's all it is. It's about building connections, trying to get credentials, trying to get exclusives and things like that. Once again, these guys, they're playing with these pay-per-view numbers. They're using it as barriers to protect investments and things like that. Like I said, Rick Glaser and Dan Rafael, they reported the same numbers for Deontay Wilder, right?
Yeah,
Dan Rafael's words wasn't good then. Now a lot of these Wilder fanboys, they want to say that Dan Rafael, he's the one who's right and Rick Glaser's wrong.
Yeah.
But, at that time, both of them was being thrown under the bus. So it's just basically confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Like you said, they're going to go with whoever they like. And if they like the fighter, all of a sudden now, Dan Rafael, a guy who's been shit on several times, now he's the say-all-be-all, right? Because he's reporting better numbers than Rick Glaser. I'll go with Rick Glaser's numbers because these guys tend to wait too long to report numbers anyway. From what I remember when I was coming up on YouTube, and, I was here since the beginning, it didn't take this long to report numbers. Yes, you'll say that maybe you have to report more things now and this and that, but really they know those numbers 3 to 5 days out. They can sit here and lie to me. I've been on the block for a long time, and they already have the numbers. And like you said, Showtime has not reported these numbers in several years, right?
Yeah,
So a
since
lot of these guys,
2014.
their inside source could be anybody,
Yeah.
right? It could be anyone. We don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
At least Rick Glaser comes on here and says that my inside source is connected to a network. You're not connected to a network. All these little guys who are going around these YouTube pages that are jealous of you and all that, and your great success over here on YouTube just from keeping it real, they're not directly connected to no network. How is it you've never even been involved in a network on an entry level? How is it that you got access to all of these numbers? That's why the numbers are all over the place. They're making this stuff up, man.
Yeah.
They're making it up to get favors and things like that, and exclusives, and talk to a fighter's father and all that kind of dumb stuff, and calling these guys superstars and all kind of dumb talk. The other night I was listening to another live stream where somebody was saying, you know, they get on here and argue with each other all day. They were saying, "Whoa, yeah, there is a big star coming out of here, Tank Davis." Well, where did you come to that conclusion from, huh? Off of whose numbers? Which numbers was you listening to, right? These guys are a joke, man, right? And all you guys out there listening to this, you can say that I'm hating, you can say that coach is hating, but why are the numbers all over the place, right? So stop believing all that hype. Tank Davis, ain't no 200,000 people paying to watch Tank Davis with that great streaming they got out there, Fire Stick and all of that stuff. These streaming sites are in high def now. People know how to use those things, especially that generation. It's 61,000 is what I'll be willing to bet it is. And I don't care if you like Rick Glaser or not. He's been reporting the numbers before you was a boxing fan. And like I said, we used to get these numbers 2 or 3 days after the fight. Why do they wait till after Rick Glaser comes on your show to start reporting these numbers? Because they heard Rick Glaser and they're doing damage control for Tank Davis, or maybe one of the promoters over there, or maybe the BBC, because they're trying to gain some exclusives and some credentials so they can pretend to be more important than what they are. They're not important. Stop listening to these clowns, because that's what they are.
Yeah,
I've been here before all of this, and I know exactly. I used to talk to most of these guys. I've been cool with at one time or another. I know what kind of personalities they are and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're a bunch of liars. If you guys want to believe that crap, go right ahead. I'll just continue to think you're stupid. But go ahead, do what you do.
Yeah, I have two things to say before I let you go, Blood. You're right. What I notice is, again, I always talk about confirmation bias on this show. If the information that you receive confirms what you want to believe, you'll believe it. You'll accept it. If the information you receive goes against what you want to believe, you'll reject it. So it's just a matter of opinion what you want to believe. It's not my job to try to make you guys believe anything you want to believe. This is a free country, free will. Believe what you want to believe. All I'm saying is can we get the best fighters fighting each other? Because the only thing I would have a problem with is when you go, and I'm not blaming the fans. I think the network started this. I'm looking at Floyd Mayweather, Leonard, Stephen Espinosa, stuff like that. But Stephen Espinosa tried to get away from that. That's why in 2014, he said, listen, man, we're not releasing any more pay-per-view numbers. And to my knowledge, they haven't put out a statement. I don't know. Maybe they did after with Floyd. I don't know. Maybe they did. But outside of Floyd, I don't think they put out a statement confirming any number of pay-per-views that's been sold that I know of. Whether it's Errol Spence, whether it's Gervonta Davis, whether it's Ugas, whether it's when they had Manny Pacquiao over there, I think maybe they did something of that sort. But there's never, I haven't seen a report where Showtime exec Stephen Espinosa said, "Hey, Errol Spence sold this. This is what Showtime says." I haven't heard anything from Al Heyman say, "Yes, my name is Al Heyman, and I'm the president of the PBC, and we sold this," or Sam Watson, or Tim Smith. I've heard.
But I've heard from their trainers, like Derek James. He came on to one show and said that Errol Spence did over 700,000 pay-per-view buys. That was false. And that's who these guys are talking to, people like that, because they want to talk to Derek James. They want to be in his good graces. So they're going to say whatever he tells them to say. If you guys out there are still listening to this garbage, then I don't know what to say about you. You're pawns, right? You're just basically a bunch of followers who can't use common sense and do research for yourself. And once again, it's either Dan Rafael's keeping it real or he's not. Mm-hmm. You guys were throwing him under the bus when he said that Wilder did $75K along with Rick Glaser. Now one of them is good because they gave you something you want to hear. Get out of here. So what's the accurate numbers then? Right? You're not connected to a network. So what the hell are you talking about? And neither are none of these guys who are working with streaming apps like Michelle Phelps and them. Respect to all of them, but they're working with streaming apps and they're puppets too. They're going to tell us whatever they're told to tell us, right? And those guys, they don't report the numbers anymore, man. But if people can't see what's going on, and the problem is that they're using these pay-per-view numbers as claiming star power and barriers and ways to protect investments and things like that. And that's the big problem, because they want to say Tank is a star, he should get this much of the purse split and things like that, right? And the numbers are fake. The numbers are lying to us. When you have such a big range of numbers, can no YouTube page come on here and talk about Coach Malachi works for this guy and that guy when you're part of a machine that's in this wide range of numbers, right? You're a puppet, my man. You're a puppet, and I know you're a puppet.
Yeah.
You're not connected to a network. Point blank, period.
Blood, before I let you go, let me know what year did you see the transition from the boxing fans from when you came on in 2007 until now, as it relates to, they use this, you hit the nail perfectly on the head. You said they use these talking points as barriers for why we shouldn't get certain fights. They'll say that my fighter did A, B, C, and D, your fighter did E, F, and G, and because your fighter did E, F, and G, and my fighter did A, B, C, and D, that your fighter don't deserve to be fighting my fighter while not having a problem with the fighter that they love so much fighting. They 16-1, they are 16-1 favorite, 17, 18-1 favorite to beat the guy. When did you start seeing that coming around?
2016 or 2017, somewhere in between there. That's when it drastically changed. You know why? And I even got an example for you, right? Mm-hmm. When Floyd Mayweather retired, he had that last fight in 2015 with Manny Pacquiao. They finally had their big fight. The next big argument that came up that involved purse splits and all of that kind of stuff was the Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua fan bases going at it because Wilder was giving some offers and things like that. And that's when they became promoters, managers, and all of that stuff. It was the Deontay Wilder audience. I don't care what you say. Don't care if you like me or not. You tell me right now what big fight was negotiated over line after that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao 6-year marination. It was that Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, him being offered a flat fee and all of that stuff. That's when they became promoters, right? It started to build up a little bit after Floyd Mayweather, but probably around 2017, 2018 is when it got ridiculous.
Yeah, when it got ridiculous, 2017, 2018.
I used an example, too. It was the Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder fan base going at it. Nobody could tell me nothing before then. I was here the whole time.
Yeah, I think when I came on, I remember because I went to war pretty much. People thought I hated. I went to war pretty much with the entire Wilder fan base, and some of them are moderators over here now. But I went to war with the entire Wilder fan base because about the same thing. Because I bet money on Wilder the first fight and the second fight. But it was about the excuses and stuff. But I remember that people were saying before Wilder they were defecating on Anthony Joshua. These channels that said they was for the black man, but they was defecating on other black fighters, and I just saw the hypocrisy in that. And they was like, well, Wilder is a big fish in a big pond. Joshua is a big fish in a small pond, and it should be a 50-50 split. Wilder's a bigger star, but Anthony Joshua had 3 belts. Now this is what I noticed. Anthony Joshua had 3 belts. Deontay Wilder had 1 belt. These guys were not saying that Anthony Joshua did the heavy lifting. So because he did the heavy lifting, he should get the majority of the purse split. But so they wasn't, they wasn't saying Joshua did the heavy lifting. But then when it came to their guy, Errol Spence, when he had 3 belts, and that's, they want to fight this other guy from Omaha, Nebraska with 1 belt, then they start saying, well, he did the heavy lifting. He got 3 belts and the other dude got 1. But y'all took a total different position when it was Wilder and tossed to fight Joshua when he had 3 belts and Wilder had 1. So why so I started noticing it then. And that's when I started, getting the threats. That's when I started getting the gun emojis. That's when I started, hearing you better not come to the fight, do this and do that. It came from that fan base. So I hated I hated the Wilder fanboys so much that I went to war. I ended up in essence going at the entire PBC because of that. You get what I'm saying? Then that died down. Then Errol Spence came up. And then now it's like a rebirth of the same thing that I went through in 2021 and in 2022. Now it's a rebirth of that. And now this group is more radical than the Wilder group.
They are.
I'm like, what this got to do? What this got to do with boxing?
The big argument was between. There was some people who was arguing for Manny Pacquiao, but most people knew Floyd Mayweather was the A side. Yeah. So most of the arguments had to do with him taking a test. But the money talk started with Wilder and Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua, yeah, it did. It did.
And now where we're at now. Now it started with them, and now it trickled over to Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. You know, it's an ongoing thing now. It's not important. You guys are not behind closed doors. No. You don't know what's going on, and you need to stay out of these fighters' negotiations. You're not getting any of the money, right? You guys became online managers, and then you started to have sources and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sources
right?
say.
So it really started to drastically change about 2017. I would say 2017 is a good year to say that the change really started to come in. 2017 and 2018, it got worse, and it's just getting worse and worse since then.
And listen, man, we got some good news. Cool Boy Steph and the New Way seem like they're going to be fighting each other. You know, I think that's phenomenal. We did a show on that yesterday. We're hearing that Tyson Fury is in the process of fighting Alexander Usyk, maybe in the Middle East. That's wonderful. I don't hear that from those guys, their fan bases. I don't hear that from Cool Boy Steph fan base or a New Way fan base. It's just that it is what it is. All of these guys are compromised. They're all in with their networks, their favorite fighters, the spit bucket carrier guy, you know, the guy who carries the mouthpiece, the trainer, whatever it is. My thing is, you guys believe whatever you want to believe. I don't care. All I care about, and I know what Blood Boxing care about, is if you say this guy is the top guy, let's see him fight this other top guy, or give these other young fighters a shot at the title, or whatever. We just want to see something happen. I don't give a damn what type of numbers Tank Davis did. I don't know what he did, right? Guess what? Tank Davis ain't breaking bread with me or nobody. So I don't have any incentive to count for him. Or nobody from ESPN, Top Rank, or anyone else. I'm down with Team Freeway Boxing. Now, I am down with Team Freeway Boxing. That's my business partner, and those are the facts. He'll come on here and tell you that himself. Freeway Ricky Ross, the real Rick Ross. That's the team. That's the team I'm on.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm talking about business, financially, money. All this other stuff. I don't care nothing about that, man. Let me
ask you one question, Coach.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you one question. Do you think that Tank Davis is more popular than Deontay Wilder over here?
And that's a good.
Or are they about the same?
That's a good question.
Are they the same, or is he more popular?
I would probably lean more towards Wilder. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Deontay Wilder had big signature fights with Tyson Fury. And he had polarizing fights with Tyson Fury, and just the drama, to this day, Radio Raheem, Tyson Fury with the egg weights, he's a cheater. Wilder coming into the ring with the costumes, like he was very, very polarizing and intimidating, and he had a signature fight that galvanized everybody. Now, me personally, I would say, well, you know what? Maybe Wilder's not as popular now. Maybe it's Tank Davis, to be honest with you, now that I think about it. But for me, I would probably say Wilder, maybe you could say both of them on the same level. Both of them on the same level. You can say that too.
Okay, so if they're on the same level and we use our common sense, and we had Dan Rafael and Rick Glaser report 75,000 for Wilder, doesn't 61 sound a little bit more accurate than 225 and 400,000? He's not significantly more popular than Wilder like that. Just use your common sense, right? Just use your common sense, fight fans. Maybe it's not 61,000. I'm not saying for sure it is. I just don't think he's that much more popular than Wilder to where more than twice as many people are going to buy a Tank Davis pay-per-view, especially considering that the streaming is even better than it was in 2019 and 2020 with the HD additives and things like that. Less ads to click out of. I just don't see it, man. I think that Rick Glaser's numbers are more close to the accurate number. These guys are doing damage control. They're doing this for credentials, for exclusive, everything under the sun, man, right? I've been around for a long time, and I'm telling you now that these guys are telling you all a bunch of lies. Don't believe YouTube channels. They're not connected to networks like that, right? So stop believing that crap and stop bringing that crap over to real boxing fans like myself and Coach Malachi.
Man,
that's all I have to say, Coach. You're doing a great job. Like I said, you are the savior of the internet boxing world. Much love to you, Coach.
Shout out to Blood Boxing, man, my brother. Shout out to my brother, man. Shout out to $1 Trillion Dreams. Phone lines open. Shout out to $1 Trillion Dreams. Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
$1 Trillion Dreams he say, bro, who gives a F about numbers? Get back to talking about the fights. We all know piracy exists. So what are we doing here exactly? $1 Trillion Dreams, if you would have came into the show, we're talking about dispelling these myths of what's going on as related to these pay-per-view numbers. Everybody's all over the place. I do take your position. Let's get back to the fights, but this is the subject matter of today. So I'm trying to prove a point. This is the reason why that we are talking about this today. If you don't want to talk about it, my brother, with all due respect, probably just don't watch this show. Just don't watch the show today and say when Coach start talking more about boxing, and I am going to start talking about boxing, then come back. That'll be my advice to you, my brother. But yeah, I'm making a point, fam. I'm making a point today. That's all. So, the point is this. Neither one of us know what the pay-per-view numbers are, nor should we care. If you stand on the side of boxing, you'll never go wrong. I have a boxing criteria here. I have 5 things here that I go by over here. My criteria is this. What is the level of competition that the fighters are fighting? And if he's a top fighter, that's very important. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Caller, what's your name when you're calling from? Caller, what's your name when you're calling from?
This is Sid Jaffe from Virginia.
Sid Jaffe from Virginia. Talk to me.
What's up, baby? I was hearing about the boxing stuff, man, and listening at the numbers and everything. And it's crazy. Hold on just a second. I still got you on my phone here.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah, man, I was listening at those numbers, man, and one thing I will, with Terrence and with Terrence and Spence, man, I was looking at there's some printed numbers online that says Spence did like 300,000 buys, right?
Where did that come from?
And I was like, it's printed on the internet. If you go look up payout, if you go look up pay-per-view buys for like Mikey Garcia and Spence, it's something like 350,000 buys, right?
Did that come from Showtime or PBC?
No, it didn't. I'm just saying this is what they put out, and if you do math, at $79.99, which is 8, that's $240 million. I mean, $24 million. I'm sorry,
yes,
that's
sir.
$24 million. And if Spence did those numbers in those fights, it's also printed on the internet that he's worth $8 million. That don't even sound right, and that's just pay-per-view number that they're reporting.
Yes,
and then they report that he's worth only $8 million.
Somebody's net worth, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, if people do wake up and start just looking at the plain stuff, just like at the betting polls right now, it's reported that Bud is the favorite to win, but Spence got all the fame. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Spence Crawford, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole no more, because that's gonna be some other shit that I just don't really care to tackle anymore. I don't bother these dudes so much on that. But my point is this here. you know, these are talking points that executives use to justify, and Blood Boss hit the nail right on the head, you know, to justify negotiating better deals for their fighters in negotiations. You know, these network executives, promoters, I know that they would pay certain media outlets to put bad information out there on certain fighters in order to devalue them, so that when the fighter does get into negotiations, they can pretty much take advantage of them, make them feel hopeless, and then say, hey, you know what I mean, man, you know you ain't doing too well, this, that, A, B, and C, and D. Our fighter's a little bit more popular than yours. This is what goes on. They'll pay certain outlets, you know what I mean, to whether it's tickets or whether it's access to give massages, or whether it's access to just come into the gym or talk to the trainer, or whatever the case may be. And this is what's going on. So this is why you can't believe a YouTube channel, because the YouTube channels don't even believe me, but I'm just saying YouTube channel, and you got to ask them, do you have a boxing criteria, and do you have commandments that you go by that you go by to try to keep everything boxing? So everybody's been compromised. All of these guys are lying. That's it. And everybody's choosing sides based on their own personal confirmation bias. And if that's what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't come to me and make it seem as though I'm tripping and that you're making an objective decision when you're not. Your decision is extremely biased. It's extremely subjective, and you're trying to push it as though that the reason why this fighter A is doing this and fighter B don't deserve a fight with my fighter. Now, I have a problem with that, because now you're telling me that you're saying in one breath that your fighter's a star. You have no idea of knowing that from a number standpoint. Now, you do know at the live gate, but as it relates to pay-per-views, because you don't see, because Showtime and PBC do not release numbers. So if you don't release numbers, how do you know those are the numbers that came from sources say? I'm the one who showed you guys what sources say is. Sources say is a way to put out false information, lie, or whatever the case may be, without being held accountable. I went to one YouTube channel, and I showed you guys this before, and this guy was supposed to be incredible, and I looked in the description of his video, and he said source. He said he was the source. Like literally, the YouTube channel said, I am the source, but people never look in the description. I have no problem with none of that. You get what I'm saying? But my thing is, man, it has nothing to do with boxing. The root of it came from Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellerby, in my opinion, and from based on my observation, Showtime and stuff like that. And Stephen Espinosa wanted to get away from that. This is why he stopped giving out pay-per-view numbers since 2014. So the fact of the matter is, people online arguing for nothing. We don't know what the hell none of these guys are doing that's on pay-per-view. We don't know if the networks don't release the numbers. So believe what you want to believe. I don't care. That's all I'm saying. Anything else you want to say, fam?
Oh no, bro. That's all good and everything. I just want to say congratulations to the show, man. Keep doing what you do. The best show in the land. Love the entertainment. God bless.
Shout out to Sid Jaffe, man. Salute, fam. Yeah, man. Hey, we need 300 more subscribers to get to 19,000. Whoever spam in the chat, y'all block them. Please block the spam. Run them off the block. So we need 300 more subscribers, a little less than 300. We're gonna be at 19,000. See, it don't matter to me, man, because we gonna make it do what it do regardless. You get what I'm saying? We gonna make it do what it do regardless over here. Call what's your name, where you calling from?
This is Swat Jones from Fort Worth, Texas.
Swat Jones, talk to me, fam.
Man, Coach, man, I get what you're talking about, man. I mean, I'm just a fan.
Yes, sir.
And I go to different, everybody, I'm in the chat all the time, and I go to different YouTube pages, man. I even look on, Google. And, man, I think that's when it gets messy, when you start worrying about the numbers. Like, when you start worrying about that, because I think the only people who know the numbers is the people who getting the money and the people who spending it.
That's right.
And if the people that's dealing with the money, if the source ain't put that out, everything else is cloudy, man. It just worked like that in regular business anyway. Just, me and you, if I give you $20 and it's just me and you at the table, and all of a sudden, hey, he gave him 40, he gave him 60, then somebody else, here in third party, and that's when it gets messy, man. I get what you're saying, man. It's just easier. You stick to boxing, let them deal with the money, and I think everything will be peaceful. But it's like when you try to get into the numbers, man, it's like you're doing too much when you ain't at the table. I agree with what you're saying, man. I do. I just had to say that.
Yeah, man, it's Squad Zone. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for calling in. Fort Worth, Texas, stand up, man.
My man.
Yes, sir. And I want to show you guys something. If you're new to the channel, I want to share something with you. I'm going to give you my boxing criteria, and I'm going to share the commandments that we have over here with you. We're the only YouTube channel that has this in the YTBC. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Going
Trent,
once?
just rated you, man. Be grateful, man. Have a good one.
All right. Yeah, I don't know who that was, but anyways, my boxing criteria is this. What is the level of competition that your fighter is fighting? How many top 10 fighters have your fighter fought? Did your fighter dominate the weight division if he stayed there for a long time? How many years, whatever, right? How many career-defining fights have your fighter had, that fighter? And did your fighter fight the best in the division? That's my boxing criteria. Notice that my boxing criteria did not say anything about pay-per-view numbers, what side of the street you're on, which network you fight for. That's not my boxing criteria. Who's a star? That's not my boxing criteria. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, man. You know we trying to raid you.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling
Check
from?
your Twitch. Check your Twitch.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? All right. So that's probably a troll, or whatever. Oh, that's somebody on Twitch. Yeah. Let me see what this is. Y'all can do what y'all want to do. I ain't tripping. He said use it on Twitch. Yeah, that's on Twitch. That's on Twitch. Who cares? Anyways, that's my boxing criteria. Now, let me share something else with you. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I got the trolls out today. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Mississippi.
Where you calling? What's your name?
What's the go well like?
What's your name? All right, so we got the trolls calling today. He said, here we go again. Post the Twitch name, coach. Look like they're trying to see who this is. Call what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach? It's Corey from Texas. How you feeling?
Corey from Texas. Talk to me, fam.
You got the trolls out today.
Oh man, look here, boy. Look here, boy. They out in full effect today, boy. These trolls out in full effect today on me, boy.
Hey, I see you brought the commandments back out. I was like, damn, he brought that back out in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to break them because I'm gonna go over them today. We got over
bring them back
we got over 700 in the chat today. I told you guys when the show started, I said we're gonna have about 600-700 here today. See, this is what they mad at. They mad at the numbers that we're doing. I just stepped on the scene 2 years, and they like, how the hell is dude doing all these goddamn numbers? And that's the question you need to ask yourself. And guess what? Guess how many subscribers I bought? 0.
Right.
But go ahead, brother.
Well, Coach, you always bring out good audio. I need you to bring out that Canelo audio where he says, tell Demetrius and say, get the fuck out of here. You got to do that to the trolls, man. You got to bring that audio out.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, I ain't tripping, man. It is what it is, man. I mean, they can do what they want to do.
You gonna catch that show box tonight, Coach?
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Oh yeah, and tomorrow, I'm glad you said something. Tomorrow we have a fight here in Tampa. Antonio Tarver Promotions. He has a fight promoting Antonio Tarver Jr. I forgot who he's fighting. The Robinson brothers are going to be here fighting on that undercard. Ibrahim Robinson and Muhammad Robinson. They're fighting on. I'll be there tomorrow. So yeah, but I'm gonna check it out tonight. See what they got going on tonight.
Is that on TV or anything on Fight TV or that's a live fight on? The Tarver.
Nah, I think it's on Fight TV. It's on Fight TV. It's on Fight TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, man. Have a good weekend. Keep your head up. Don't let these suckers fool.
I'm
man.
good.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm used to it. I'm built for this shit. Shout out to Corey from Texas, man. I heard Major Key call me. Hold on, Major Key. Get Major Key on the phone. Hold on, Major Key. If you still in the chat, I'm calling you, fam. If you still in the chat, Major Key, I'm calling you. Hold on. Shout out to Ali Muhammad.
Hello.
Major Key, what's going on?
What's going on? I was actually calling back, man. What's going on, brother?
Yeah. Hold on, Major Key. Hold on.
Accept, press 1.
What the hell? Oh no, calling right now.
Hello.
All right, Major Key, talk to me from I got you online. Major Key Boston online, talk to me.
What's going on, bro?
What's going on with you, fam?
Chilling, man. Yeah, man, them trolls, yeah. Hopefully they got a 386 number like me because, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But anywho, basically, I just wanted to talk about this whole situation, man. First and foremost, man, it's always a challenge when we get all this information online, right? Sources like you were saying,
yeah,
different sources and all that. I just hear that beeping in the background. Let me call back, bro. Let me call back.
No, don't worry about that. I got it. Go ahead, I got it.
Yeah, man, but at the end of the day, man, most of the time there's no opposition, there's no alternative.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So when we get an alternative, then it brings a question, like you said, who's telling the truth?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would prefer that where we have conflicting information, right? Where it's different, because we should have a track record of who's right at the end of the day. But the only people that are going to substantiate that, to put the stamp on it, is the actual networks. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why they don't come out. They don't need to be specific with the exact number. They could put a range. The same way that we get ranges from certain people trying to be cautious, we could get a range, so that they're not, out there like, what Rick Glaser was saying, like, they won't come out because they can go ahead and get sued for giving out the wrong information because they're an IPO. You know what I'm saying? They've got a bunch of people that are investors and stuff like that. So just with that being said, man, I'm gonna say that everybody should take everything with a grain of salt. Yeah. And we out here trying to get information, but at the end of the day, it's boxing. We just need to worry about the boxing. You know what I mean?
Focus on the boxing.
Focus on the boxing.
And that's the whole purpose of this show. Like,
exactly.
when you got numbers that's all over the place from very, very different sources, and everybody, this source, this source, that. And the fact of the matter is, like, only thing we should care about is seeing the fights, because the only ones who know those numbers is Stephen Espinosa, Showtime, and Al Heyman, them and the people, and Al Heyman. That's it. That's it. Not the janitor, not the trainer, none of those guys know. The only ones who know are those who had a need to know basis, the top guys. If you ain't the top guys, don't nobody know shit. So the sources say this, sources say that. The source can be Big Booty Judy was talking to bow-legged Tyrone at the strip club, and that's where they got it from. So,
and that's another thing I want to say. And I know people are calling in, the phone lines are hot, but I really want to, because you know what I'm saying. I watch the show, I watch the shit happen, and I watch everything unfold with the viral subject, and then I watch other people, talking out their ass. So I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't understand how some people, I'm not gonna name nobody, but content creators could come out, start talking about certain information that you got here, but then come out afterwards and say that they got some information, and from who though? From who? Who's your source? You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't say who their sources are, but yet Rick is over here saying that, yo, I got my sources, and I've been dealing with them since 2004, 2005. You know what I'm saying? Before that, I had a different source. So at least he's saying that. Whereas these other people they coming out, I just know. Well, really you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You talking out your ass. So work up, man. And it's a lot of hate. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of hate.
Hey, but you know what? They're giving us their watch time hours. That's all that matters at the end of the day. Shout out to my brother,
That's
man.
true.
Keep
That's
boxing.
true.
Salute, fam.
That's what's up, man. Have
Yes,
a great show.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Shout out to Knockdown 305, Dade County's finest, man. You know what, man? You know what, man? Hold on. We got a call coming from the UK. Let's see what we got here. Phone lines is hot. I got trolls calling. I got, it look like I'm pissing off some people. I look like I don't got some big dogs. I'm pissing them off, it seems like. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Patrick. I'm calling from the UK.
Patrick from the UK. Talk
I'm
to me.
Frank.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, Coach, hey, hello? You hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear
you. Yeah, I just remember when you came, when 2023 came, you said, like, this year we're going to bring it, and now you are bringing it now.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it is. It is what it is, man. I'm handling this shit like Neo in the Matrix, man. To be honest with you, this shit is, you know what I mean? I'm handling this shit like Neo in the Matrix. This shit is easy. This shit easy.
I just want to say that you're right. Like, basically now, people, it's just the money running all the things, and what's happening as well is, I think social media is a big problem, man.
Hold on.
Social media.
Hold on. If I'm on the phone, guys, don't try to call in while I'm on the phone. I'm not going to click over. Wait till I finish the phone call, and then you can call back. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, social media became a big problem, man, because, like, obviously all these numbers that we hear, they're all coming from social media. But back then, at the time of the Don King and all that, we never heard about any numbers. We only like hearing about the fighters, the way they were training, the way they were talking shit to each other. You know, that's the only thing we were hearing, and that was what was making it exciting. But now people are just trying to just refer to numbers, to who we fought, there was nothing like that before, and social media, I believe, also is ruining it in a way, because you hear a lot of like fake news from social media. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But man, Coach, yeah, you're doing a great job, man. I think you have to carry on, man. Make sure you don't give up on that fight.
Hey man, salute to you, fam. Shout out to Patrick from the UK, man. UK, stand up.
Yeah.
Let's see what this is. All right, call back. Whoever call back. If you're a troll, I'm going to block the number. If you're a troll, I'm going to block the number. Once I find out what this number is, you're going to have to call under another number. I promise you, I'm going to block it. Shout out to Teach. What's going on, fam? School of X, man. See what this is. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, this is Calvin.
Where you calling from?
I'm from Illinois.
Calvin from Illinois. Talk to me.
I just got a quick question, man. Do you consider Rick Glaser, or whatever his name is, as a reliable source?
To me, he is.
You say to you?
Yes, sir.
So the reports that I'm saying that Tank sold 61,000 pay-per-view buys, you think that's an accurate number?
I mean, I have no way of really knowing, to be honest with you, fam. But I think Rick Glaser is a credible source. Me personally, I think maybe it might be somewhere in between. I don't know, maybe in the hundreds of thousands or something of that sort. I know that when Rick Glaser said that Deontay Wilder did 77,000 pay-per-view buys. No, he said he did 77,000 pay-per-view buys. Dan Rafael came out maybe the next day or 2 days later and said that Deontay Wilder and Robert Helenius did 75,000 pay-per-view buys. So both of those guys pretty much reported the same thing, very similar. And people took what they said then. Some people didn't take what they said. So now, and then Rick Glaser been giving out pay-per-view numbers for years. So I would believe more someone who's in the industry, like a Dan Rafael, like a Rick Glaser, or just even some of those other main guys who's been in the business for a while, more so than I would believe a YouTube channel. But whoever you want to believe, brother, is subjective to you. It has nothing to do with the best fighters fighting each other. So that's what I
Okay, now that was gonna be my other question, because I also seen that Dan Rafael, he said that Tank had sold 200 or something.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view buys.
This is what I heard. This is what's out there. Rick Glaser said 61,000. Dan Rafael say 200,000 to anywhere from 200 to 225,000. A YouTube channel said 350,000. Ellie Setback, Ellie Setback say 400,000. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, boxing scene. I think boxing scene said 225,000. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sources saying 5, 6 different things. So what does that tell you?
I mean, yeah, you got a point there, but I just can't. I don't believe that he sold 61,000 though. But you say you're going with your credible source though, which is
no. You asked me, do I think he's credible? I said yes. But that's just my personal opinion.
Right. So you think he sold 61,000 views? I mean, he got 61,000 pay-per-view buys now, right?
I mean, yeah.
If you know he is a credible source.
If Wilder, and my thing, if Wilder did 77,000, 75,000, that's a possibility. Now, do I know for an actual fact? No, I don't. But that's what I believe. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I wanted, man. I mean, a lot of people throwing a lot of numbers out there though. But me personally, I don't think Tank sold 61,000 views, because if you look at all his pay-per-view numbers, it's like it's consistent with 200,000 buys.
We never seen his pay-per-view
like
numbers.
his last 5 fights.
But we never seen Tank's pay-per-view numbers.
I mean, if you Google them.
No, what I'm saying is the numbers didn't come from Showtime and it didn't come from the PBC. So we really don't know. That's what I'm saying. We don't know what none of these guys are doing.
Okay. All right.
You get what I'm saying? Because
right.
because the Showtime, the network, they're not putting the numbers out. So they're not saying what Tank or either one of these other guys have done, and they're not, and the PBC not saying it. So my point is, all of us are hearing secondhand information, and we are all making our decision based on what we are hearing, who we want to believe or who we don't want to believe. All of us are doing it, whether it's me, whether it's you, or whoever. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Okay, before I get off, I just want to ask a question. Did you buy the fight?
I'm talking about Tank Davis and Tank Davis last fight, Hector Garcia?
Yeah.
Nah, somebody sent me a link. And the person who sent me a link,
you watched it for free.
Yeah, the person who sent me a link is in the chat. I'm not gonna say her name.
Yeah, okay. So I just think everybody who's talking about the views, they the ones who bought the one who stole the fight. So yeah, they gonna laugh at it. I mean,
yeah, I don't. But the thing is, I don't think it's nothing to laugh at. What I'm saying is, like, I don't know if you heard the beginning of my show, fam. I said that you're gonna have people who love Tank, who hate what Rick Glaser numbers. They're gonna hate what, and then you're gonna have people who hate Tank who are gonna love Rick Glaser numbers. And then you got people that's somewhere in the middle. What does this have to do with the sport of boxing? The top fighters fighting the top fighters. It has nothing to do with that at all. You know what I mean? My thing is, I don't know what the numbers are. You don't know what the numbers are. My thing is, why should we care what the numbers are? Why? That's the whole.
We shouldn't. But I just think that when the report comes out, I mean, I think everybody just want to make a joke of it because it's Tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but those are the people.
I don't think nobody else laugh and joke about pay-per-view numbers when there's other fighters though. You know what I mean? I mean, they did it with Crawford. I think his last fight.
That's not true.
I think Tank's the only one who get the most hate.
Nah, that's not true, fam. They do it with Crawford all the time. They did it with Canelo his last fight. Nah, that's not true, fam. It's across the board. It's across the board. And this is what I'm saying. Depending on which side you chose to be with, that's who you riding with. Everybody's doing it. And this is what I'm saying. That's the whole point.
Okay.
All right. So
All right. But it's all love. I just wanted to know, man, what side of the fence you was on. I know you say you ain't a fanboy, and I just wanted to know if you felt like your source was credible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Salute. Shout out to Calvin, man. Thank you for calling from Illinois. Let me get to these. Let me get to these. Let me get to these commandments. I think this is a troll that kept calling me, so I need this troll to answer the phone so I can block his number. I need this troll to answer the phone so I can block the number. You're going to have to come out. You're going to have to call on another number, fam. Phone lines over 530-494-9636. Hold on, guys. I'm putting up the commandments. Here we go right here. Here we go right here. Now, this Arizona number, I'm pretty sure this is a troll. Yeah, this is a troll right here. I'm pretty sure it is. This number going to get blocked. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, what's up, Coach? Your boy Two-Tone, the superstar.
Oh, okay. Two-Tone, the super. I thought you was a troll. I was going to block that number.
Nah.
Two-Tone, the superstar.
Nah.
You calling from, you calling from
man?
Arizona, right?
Oh, yeah, Phoenix, Arizona, Maryville, USA.
Yes, sir. Shout out Two-Tone, the superstar. Talk to me, fam.
Man, so I know we doing a podcast today for the sake of the podcast. I understand the topic. But as far as boxing fans, everybody up in the locker room, the Coach Malachi chat room, y'all niggas should not give a fuck about any of these numbers at the end of the day. Y'all, this should not play any factor in the sport of boxing, because just like in hip hop, Vanilla Ice went diamond, and Vanilla Ice is fucking trash, respectfully. So Vanilla Ice is not the best rapper, but he sold the most. Now, for the sake of talking, I kind of believe Rick Glaser, because Gervonta Tank Davis fan base is niggas like me in the hood. We steal shit. We on fire sticks. His fan base does not buy pay-per-views like that, and they were not going to buy a pay-per-view between Gervonta Tank Davis and Hector Garcia. And I say that respectfully. And I was arguing with the Boxing Voice the other day, and they were saying, well, how come the gate could do so good, but the pay-per-views don't do good? Easy. Gervonta Tank Davis fights are a movie. That's where all the women is going to be at. All the women trying to catch them a baller, trying to catch them a celebrity. When you go to a Gervonta Tank Davis fight, you are paying for the experience. The same way why album sales are down and concert sales are up, because you are paying for the experience to go there. It's a movie. You got women that's not even fans of the sport of boxing that are saying, "Girl, I'm going to the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. There's about to be some niggas up there," because that's what it is. And the niggas, just like Tupac said, Tupac always told y'all, the niggas is going to do what the women going to do. And Gervonta Tank Davis brings out the yams. Respectfully, he does. I'm not going to hate on the man, but is Gervonta Tank Davis, in my opinion, a pay-per-view star? No. Ryan Garcia, pay-per-view star? No. Just like you said, Coach, the only pay-per-view star is Canelo Saul Alvarez. And like you said, even that is due to Floyd Money Mayweather. Floyd Money Mayweather is the key to all this shit. Everything.
And then before Floyd, Oscar De La Hoya was the key before Floyd. Because before Floyd fought Oscar De La Hoya, his pay-per-views was trash.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know that because they wasn't watching Floyd at that time, and they just started following Floyd during the Manny Pacquiao era and stuff like that. But
yeah, and with Canelo was on several Floyd Money Mayweather undercards to build him up. And Canelo knew if I lose to Floyd, it's not going to hurt my career. I just have to go ahead and keep going. And once Canelo fought Triple G the first time, and he fought Cotto, he became his own pay-per-view star. But that Floyd Mayweather loss and him fighting on those undercards did help him. Gervonta Tank Davis cannot sell a fight. Rolly Romero sold that fight, if we're being real.
Hold on. Why you say Gervonta can't sell a fight? Where you come from?
Because he can barely talk. He can barely talk.
Yeah, I disagree with that though. He can't sell a fight. I mean, he has a track record at the gate. Like they sold when he fought Isak Cruz, when he fought Mario Barros in Atlanta, they sold that out. Everywhere Gervonta Davis go at, he sells out. I totally disagree with that.
See, here's the key factor to that, Coach, in my opinion. Floyd Money Mayweather co-sign. The Floyd Money Mayweather co-sign during those fights are huge. I don't think Gervonta Tank Davis, without a Floyd Money Mayweather co-sign, is bringing Maidana to a fight. I don't think she knows anything about Gervonta. She knows Floyd Money Mayweather is saying, I need y'all to come to this fight. Now, this last fight against Hector Garcia, as you can see, based off Rick Glaser's numbers, and it's crazy that magically everybody else had numbers after Rick Glaser. That's funny to me. But Gervonta, this pay-per-view was like this pay-per-view had no buzz like Rolly Romero. It had no buzz. And that's because there was no Floyd Money Mayweather in the front co-signing Gervonta Tank Davis. In Gervonta's next.
So you're of the opinion that Gervonta Tank Davis can't sell. The only reason he was selling because of Floyd Money Mayweather, and you believe that. 100%. And you believe that when Tank fought Rolly Romero, a guy who never fought on pay-per-view before in his life, a guy who can hardly speak himself. When people look at Rolly Romero, they think that he rode the short yellow bus with the dark tinted windows, and he was in the classroom all day. That guy. You think that guy was the reason why Tank Davis broke the Barclay record in sales, at the gate. You saying that guy was the reason why. So I totally disagree with that. Now I like you. I do like you, but that sounds like some hating shit right there, to be honest with you. But
wait, I am the hater.
Hold on. But hear me out. I know you're saying you're a hater, but hear me out though. But if you want me to agree with Rolly Romero is the reason why Tank sold out the Barclays Center, when does Rolly Romero fight again?
No. It's two separate things, Coach. Two separate things.
What is it?
The Gervonta Tank Davis experience of going to the fight, that shit was cracking in Brooklyn. That's where all the bitches is at. That's where all the baller niggas is at. I'm not discounting Gervonta's gate sales. The viewing experience to the casual fan, Rolly made the casual fan think that he could beat Gervonta. Yeah. The casual.
Yeah, he did that. But what you failed to realize, prior to Rolly, he did the same thing against Mario Barrios in Atlanta. Prior to Mario,
that's Floyd Money Mayweather.
Okay, so Floyd Money Mayweather is the reason why that Tank is doing the phenomenal numbers. Okay, well, how did he do the phenomenal numbers at the gate in Washington D.C. without Floyd?
One, D.C. does not have many boxing events. That is a homecoming fight for Gervonta Tank Davis. He's from Baltimore. That's like Devin the Dream Haney having a fight in Santa Clara, California. Or Devin the Dream Haney.
But Devin Haney fought I think he fought in California, and he couldn't sell it out worth shit.
He did. I don't know if he had I don't know. You educate me on that. I don't know. But I would like to see what Devin the Dream Haney does as being a undisputed champion with the fight in the Bay. I want to see that as an undisputed champion, fight in the Bay.
All right, so I get your point. So you say what you're saying is Tank is. So just summarize what you're saying, because we've been on the phone for about 8 minutes. Summarize your point. Yeah, summarize
what
your
I'm
point.
saying is, Gervonta Tank Davis is not a self-promoter. He's not the self-promoter guy. Tyson the Gypsy King Fury is a self-promoter. Ryan Garcia is a self-promoter. Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder is a self-promoter. Tank is an introvert. He barely talks.
But Tank outsells Deontay Wilder. Tank outsells Ryan Garcia. All of these guys you name. Tank outsells all of them at the gate.
I'm very interested.
Outside of Wilder and Fury fighting each other. Outside of that, Tank doing better than all those dudes you just named. Outside of Tyson Fury. So what you saying?
At the gate. Yes, the gate, because us as niggas, we want to be outside. That's our motto. I'm outside.
All right, man. All right, Tone.
All right, family.
All right, Tone. Shout out to Tone, man. 2 times. Yeah. I totally disagree with that, man. I mean, this man Tank Davis is box office at the gate. Everywhere he goes, he sell out the arena. I mean, that's a known fact. That's a known fact. You get what I'm saying? So I can't. You know what I mean? I totally disagree with that shit. You know, Ryan Garcia ain't never did a pay-per-view in his life outside of fighting on the Canelo Alvarez card. Carter, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach? It's the inevitable. D-Block, D-Town, D-City, D-Ville, Baltimore, stand up.
D-Block, talk to me.
What's up, Coach? I love that caller. That caller, man, he lasted with you for 8 minutes. He did good.
I mean, I let him talk, but bro, I don't agree.
Good.
Yeah, I don't agree with none of that. What he said. I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah.
You know,
He started out good, and then he started. You know, I mean, it just started kind of like going downhill from there. But you know, I mean, we got Dan Rafael coming out with the numbers. We got all these sources now coming out with numbers. But the main source, the main honcho, Showtime, Espinosa, come out with some Twitter rant about it did triple of whatever they're talking about, 61,000 or whatever. Show us the fact. You know why you can't show us the fact? Because you're gonna get sued. Show us. Post it on Showtime. Do it like back in the day when there was HBO.
Yeah, but my thing is the whole point of this show, D Block, is does it matter?
No, it doesn't.
Everybody's going to believe who they want to believe based on their own personal biases.
Yeah.
If you, I said in the beginning of the show, if you like Tank Davis, then you believe what Ellie Setback said. He did 400,000.
Yeah.
If you don't like Tank Davis, you're gonna believe probably more than likely that what Rick Glaser said.
Yeah.
Then there's somewhere in the middle. And guess what? It really has nothing to do with boxing because none of us are getting a piece of it. But we have 61,000, 200,000, 225,000, 350,000, and 400,000 buys being reported by 5 different sources. So how do you determine which one is the truth and which one is not the truth? You can't. The reason why you can't is because if Showtime doesn't come out and say, hey, this is the exact number that this fight did, pay-per-view, and if PBC don't come out and say, hey, this is the exact number that it did, everything else is just speculation, and sources say. And we're going to believe who we want to believe. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with no one believing Ellie or boxing scene or whoever. There's nothing, or Rick, there's nothing wrong with that. But let's just keep it real. That's all everybody's doing. That's all I'm saying. And it has nothing to do with the two guys, the best fighters fighting the best fighters. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No. Yeah, and I respect what you say. So, yeah, I put a halt to that now. I just want to just keep on going. Look, the guy did whatever he did. At the end of the day, he can say that he can proclaim himself. But like I always say, and this is what I love about boxing, time always tells, right? Every boxer that's retired, they've never been, except for Floyd, like I always tell you, except for Floyd, except for Calzaghe, except for my Mexican boxer back in the 90s, I forget his name, Fernandez, undefeated. You know, there's only so many people that go undefeated. We all know that one day Tank Davis is going to get beat. We all know that one day Devin Haney, if he makes it, maybe he's going to have a blimp. Nobody's perfect in this boxing scene. Nobody will ever be perfect. And even the greatest, Muhammad Ali, his record wasn't the greatest. But we knew what he inspired people to do. So, yeah, you're right about these numbers. Like at the end of the day, the way I always see it is, I lived in an era where they told you the truth. HBO, Showtime, they were truthful. It was people that were the managers behind that, the chairman, the CEOs behind that, telling you the truth, right? Not in fighting numbers, but because they know they get sued. Why is it that Espinosa, a guy that is so into everything, and the guy's supposed to be in the backseat, right? But he puts himself out there and arguing on other platforms about certain things and certain numbers. Why does he do that? He doesn't need to do that.
Ask him.
Why is he trying to act like he's a promoter?
Ask him.
You're not a promoter.
Yeah,
you work. And I've asked him. I've asked him. He don't answer because that's the way he is. He stays in the closet. You know, only when he wants to say something, like defend PBC, defend Showtime. I respect that you want to defend Showtime. Okay? But let's be honest with you, man. I'll be honest with you, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
I hated it when they took De La Hoya when he was going through a certain thing. He had all these fighters, right?
We got other calls.
And Schaefer was with them. Oh, yeah, my bad. Oh, damn, Coach. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So all I got to say is, I want, like I always tell you, Coach, let's have the big fights. Let's make it happen. And God bless everybody. Tank Davis, keep it going, man. Let's get those big fights after, let's make that Ryan Garcia fight. Let's make everybody happy.
Shout out to
Peace out,
D-Block.
Coach. D-Block. Peace out. D-Block.
Shout out to D-Block. Yeah, guys, we gotta keep the calls and try to hit your points in 2 minutes because we got other calls calling in. I had a call 2 times while D-Block was on the phone, so that was my fault. I will moderate the time. Please hit your points in 2 minutes, and so we can respect the fact that other people trying to call, even if it's a troll. Because once I find out he's trolling, I'm gonna block the number anyway. So we're gonna make him come back under another number. Hold on, guys. Call what's your name? Where you calling from?
Martin from Oakland.
Martin from Oakland. Talk to me, fam.
Yeah, I just wanted to agree with that one caller that said, Tank Davis fights in events, and that's why he sells out. And it's true because, like out here, I'm from the town, and when Andre Ward used to fight at the Oracle, we show up not necessarily to support him, but just because, there was a major sporting event going down in the town, and I'm sure it's like that everywhere Tank goes, whether it's LA or New York or Washington. But, him talking about Rolly Sosa fight with 14 career fights, that's ridiculous. I mean, the only fighter that I can even remotely think of that would have that kind of appeal, and that's a big ass maybe, would be somebody like Lomachenko. But outside of that, Rolly ain't selling jack shit because don't nobody know who the fuck he is.
Yeah,
as far as him,
Rolly Romero ain't nobody. I'm the one that hyped him up. I'm the one that was on the show calling him Big Rolo. That came from me. Rolly Romero.
Yeah.
Rolly Romero is trash. Like literally, don't nobody. He's known for being a troll on. He's known for being a troll on Instagram. That's it. He's not known for his boxing skills. He throws a good bolo punch, but that's about it. His footwork is terrible.
Coach,
he doesn't have any defense. Like, come on, man.
That's like people saying Blair the Flair's out there selling fights with his little answer. Yeah, he's entertaining, but as far as, oh man, I'm going to go drop a couple hundred to go watch some fights, that shit ain't happening. Not unless you were going there anyway. You feel me?
How about Rolly Romero? Rolly Romero sold him Tank Davis fight. Boy, hush.
True.
Okay, I tell you what. Let's see what Big Rolo sells his next fight. If Big Rolo is such a star, and he sold a fight in New York with Tank Davis, let's see what he sells his next fight. And what was he selling before? And what was he selling before he fought Tank Davis?
Man, Rolly Romero can't sell tickets to his immediate family, Coach, and that's just fact.
What was he selling before Tank Davis, and what he gonna do after Tank Davis?
Shit. Before Tank, he was cleaning the bathrooms after the fight, Coach. That's what he was doing.
Boy, Rolly Romero, boy. Yeah, okay, all right, okay.
All right, Coach.
All right, shout out to Martin, man. Yeah. Yeah, man, I've been watching this shit a long time, bro. Boy, it is what it is, man.
I know I'm gonna get this money.
Talking water. My bracelet cost about 40 and my necklace cost a quarter. Talking water. I go stupid like on Boosie. All this jewelry got me foolish. All this water. All of these diamonds, they bright, so you gon' see me at night. All of this water. Now I be drip. Water. When your daughter see this water, she gon' let Boosie record. Them little niggas in the A, they making deals off the water.
Yeah, man, it is what it is, man. Hey, let's we gotta get the lights up, man. The phone lines is hot today. Phone lines is hot today. I'm surprised I ain't received no threats today. I'm surprised I ain't received no threats today. Ain't nobody say they were gonna shoot me yet. Call what's your name? Where you calling from?
Coach Malachi Williams, Willie Cole from Houston, Texas, brother. How you doing?
Man, Willie Cole, I ain't heard, but that's that pimp Willie Cole, boy. That's that pimp Willie Cole. Well, what's going on,
Hey,
man?
What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, real quick, 2 points. Me and you are pretty close in age,
yes,
so I know this is relative to what you're saying. The first point is instant information, and the world is saturated with instant information, and just like you said, it's 5 different numbers out, so you're gonna have 5 different groups. Take those numbers and run with it. That's fine. That's your business. You know what I'm saying? And that creates this risk on the YTC that gets everybody putting up thumbnails, doing different lives. Because if we went back, think about it, Coach. If we went back to the old days, to the old school, think about it.
Yeah.
We didn't hear Mike Tyson's pay-per-view numbers. We didn't hear Evander Holyfield's pay-per-view numbers. We didn't hear none of those guys. Matter of fact, the very first time, this is the honest to God truth, the very first time I ever heard a boxer say anything about his pay-per-view buys was Floyd Mayweather. When Floyd Mayweather did an interview back when he was fighting, that's when he, you know what I'm saying? He said, I every time I fight, it's a million buys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now they've diluted, not Floyd, I'm just talking about all the talkers, all the spectators. They've diluted the sport so bad that they've gotten the attention of everybody off of the damn sport, and now they just want to hear numbers. Who gives a shit? Errol ain't giving me nothing. I don't know that Errol does 300 pay-per-view buys every time he fights. I don't know that. That's just what they said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, in short, Coach, I get what you're saying, brother. I appreciate you trying your best to redirect the focus of the real boxing fan. Because once the boxing fan get off of stuff that they don't have nothing to do with and get back into loving the actual sport, man, the sport is going to get back up.
Do you guys hear what Willie Cole is saying? Do you guys hear what Willie Cole is saying? This is the whole point. This is the whole point I'm getting at, dog. Man, Willie Cole, man, I got to give you a round of applause, man. Salute to you, fam. Thank you for calling in. Shout out Willie Cole.
My man. All right, Coach.
Yeah. This the entire point. This entire point. It is what it is, right? As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this here, though, because, we got something called the commandment now. The commandment is normally run niggas off the block. This is run niggas off the block time. And y'all ready to leave in droves? Here we go. Commandment, as a matter of fact, I'm not taking any more calls right now for this one. Not for this one. We got commandments over here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this one because this guy been calling blowing up back to back. Let me see what this is. Take this one. Call what's your name when you're calling from.
It's Batman, Coach.
Batman, where you calling from, fam? DC?
From DC.
Yes, sir. Batman from DC. Talk to me, fam.
So the caller maybe like 3 calls ago, he kind of right, but he's not right. So I think what he means to say when he say Rolly sold the fight, I think Rolly gave people the belief that he wasn't scared of Tank, which made people buy into the fact that Rolly, Rolly came in with a little bit of confidence that they never seen from somebody that was getting ready to fight Tank with before. So it sold some people on the fact that, oh shit, this dude not scared of Tank. And we know he hit hard. He might fuck around and catch Tank with some shit and it'll be over. So he did kind of sell the fight. But
that's true.
Like Rolly,
I mean, that is true because my cousin betted $100 on Rolly Romero. So that is true.
See, when they say Rolly sold the fight, it make it seem like, oh, motherfuckers coming to see Rolly. No, motherfuckers coming because they looking at Rolly like, oh shit, the way he's talking, he giving us a little bit of hope, like he can land some shit on Tank and it could be over, so we may tune in.
Yeah.
I was at the Barclays fight. It was packed. I'm from DC. I was at the DC fight, Coach. It was packed.
It was sold out.
Tank is an attraction. Okay.
Yeah, he is.
Now what he is saying that's right is nowadays when Floyd was fighting, we didn't have these great streams and all of these links and fire sticks and shit to the point where I'm watching fights now, coaching these fire sticks, and I have no buffering, I have no kickouts. This shit is like I'm watching these fucking pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So when you give people the option to watch something, or when people not when you give them the option, but when they have the option to watch something for free, 8 times out of 10, they're not going to pay for it if they can watch it for free. So that's why a lot of these numbers are coming back and they not what we used to seeing, because I don't give a fuck if I do fuck with Deontay Wilder. If I can watch it for free, I'm not paying for it. And that's the mindset of 8 out of 10 people that watch boxing.
Yeah,
So
I mean, if you're right. If you can watch a
no.
fight for free, you're not gonna pay. You're not gonna voluntarily pay $80 to watch something that you can watch for free. I think that's any fight.
Correct.
Any fight, yeah, that's true.
Correct. Now watch this. If people had the option to get into fights for free, then the gates probably wouldn't be as high because they have an option around not having to pay for it. So that's why these pay-per-view numbers are coming in and they not what we used to seeing, because motherfuckers got fire stick deals where they could pay $20 a month and they not having no issue. You know what I'm saying? So we never gonna see these pay-per-view numbers that we saw with Floyd and all of these other people because the streams are too good now. That's all I want to say.
Man, shout out to Batman from
Appreciate
DC, man.
you
Salute,
always.
fam. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Yeah, I do agree with that. Now he's right about that as it relates to Rolly. Verbal assault did make it interesting, but I wasn't talking about that. What I was talking about to say that the reason why Tank was successful in that particular fight from a drawing power standpoint was solely because of Rolly Romero. I totally disagree with that. You know what I mean? I totally disagree with that. You get what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, it is what it is. Hold on, let me see. All right. Yeah, I totally disagree with that. Now let's go over here. Now we finna run them off the block. Right here. If you're new to this channel, okay. If you're new to this channel, I have a boxing criteria. As a matter of fact, let me do this. If you're new to this channel, my name is Coach Malachi Williams, the True Media Today USA Boxing. I have a background in marketing. I am a fan of the sport of boxing, and I have a boxing criteria. I just read you my boxing criteria here. I have 5 points, and also over here we have something called the 17 Commandments of the Boxing Gods, and we made these commandments up with the subscribers last year. I think we was watching Devin Haney fight George Kambosos, and there were several subscribers in the chat that gave me some ideas, and then I came up with a bunch of commandments myself, and this is how we came up with it. We are the only boxing community on YouTube that have commandments, and I think you need to know what these commandments are, because you might want to reconsider being a subscriber over here, because this might not be the channel for you. Commandment number 1. This is called the 17 Commandments of the Boxing Gods. Commandment number 1: thou shalt not fanboy for any fighter. Commandment number 2: thou shalt not deride for a promotional company or a promoter. The reason why you don't want to fanboy for any fighter, because you hear a lot of that going on. A lot of these guys, they give their opinions of their fighter and their opinions of fighters who they don't like is so one-sided and slanted, you know what I mean, that it's based on their emotion. It's based on their emotional attachment for the fighter that they love so much, and it's not based on a boxing criteria. You see what I'm saying? Commandment number 2: thou shalt not deride for a promotional company or a promoter. So if you're saying that Top Rank is the place to be, and PBC is the place to be, and Matchroom is the place to be, guess what? You are deriding for a promoter. And if you're putting out false propaganda because you're a YouTube channel and you have a relationship with a promotional company or a promoter or a financial advisory company, guess what? We don't do that over here. And this is why a lot of those niggas are unsubscribing. I ran their ass off the block. Commandment number 3. Let me blow this up so you guys can see it. Commandment number 3: thou shalt not be a manager or promoter of any fighter. If you online 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, take whatever we give you, sign the contract. Guess what? You are a manager and a promoter. If you trying to break, y'all see my fighter sold, my fighter did 400,000 pay-per-views, and your fighter did 100,000. My fighter, the A side, he a cash cow. And when I break that down, and my fighter did this at the gate, and guess what? The dudes who doing the arguing, they broke. A lot of them ain't got no jobs. They got a net worth of 2 figures, living with their baby mama, smoking on the Nick Sack and Reggie, while playing the PS5 all damn day long. I'm gonna listen to you niggas? I think not. Now, commandment number 4. Thou shalt not pocket watches a fighter's money. The only thing a broke nigga, you know what? Broke niggas online, especially on YouTube and Twitter, y'all got so much to say. You can tell people how to do anything. You can tell a nigga how to do anything, but how to get some goddamn money.
True.
The dudes who do the most talking about money and pay-per-view buys and all that stuff there, they broke and they can't tell you how to get no money. Gervonta Davis is a millionaire, multi. Errol Spence, Deontay Wilder, Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, these guys are multi-millionaires. If you put that energy in raising your net worth from 2 figures to 3 figures, from 3 figures to 4 figures, from 4 figures to 5 figures, maybe even 6 figures like my dog 6-Figure Johnny, you'll be in a better place. This is the problem. Commandment number 5, thou shalt not talk boxing without facts. Just because you be online yelling, facts. Oh, we see him leaving. Listen, the chat getting smaller. We see him leaving. We running them off the block. I am being successful at running them off the block right now.
True.
Just because you say facts doesn't mean that it's facts. Commandment number 6, thou shalt not get too emotionally invested in a particular fighter. I had a nigga call me one day. I know his real name. He's a 22-year-old black male because he called back crying and whining and yeah, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm just a 22-year-old black male because he say the feds came to his house. That's what he said. And man, I'm just sorry, man. 2 weeks later, this nigga was so emotionally invested. He was such a flaming aerosexual so much that he called me 7 times in a row consecutively. Nigga, I'm gonna put your body in the dirt. Nigga, I'm gonna kill you, nigga. I'm gonna kill you. You gonna die. We got loan money. You better not come to the fight. This guy was emotionally, and he was a violation of commandment number 6. Thou shalt not get too emotionally invested in a particular fighter. The nigga called back, keep Earl's name out your mouth. That's what he said. I can't make this up.
True.
I can't make this up. This nigga, and then he called back 2 weeks later, man, I'm sorry, man, I'm a 22-year-old black male. I ain't got no daddy, man. I'm broke, living with my mama, man. I'm sorry, man. I just didn't like the way you were saying about Errol Spence. That's what the nigga said. And he said he was a subscriber of Southpaw. So it made sense. But anyway, let's continue. Commandment number 7, thou shalt not criticize a fighter for cherry picking when your favorite fighter is cherry picking. Commandment number 8, thou shalt not condone any elite fighter for ducking another elite fighter. I mean, you shouldn't be putting up barriers for why this fight shouldn't happen, and this fighter got to do this, and he on the wrong side of the street, and he got to leave his promotional company, and he went the wrong network and all that stuff there. He on the wrong, and why don't I take these routes? Now we ain't doing none of that there. If you condone that, guess what? You condoning your favorite fighter ducking in another elite fighter. That's what I say. You ain't got to believe me. You don't have to agree with me. Commandment number 9, thou shalt not speak of the back-end money. Because the people who want to argue about back-end money don't know what the hell it is any goddamn ways. How you gonna argue about back-end money and how you never seen a boxing contract before? You never been in negotiations before when deals are getting done? You can argue about boxing contracts that you never seen, argue about fighters and financial advisors that you never seen. But you can't change your condition for being a broke ass nigga on YouTube? You know so much about money, but yet you don't know how to get none of it for yourself? Make it make sense. Commandment number 10, Thou shalt not tweet it shit on Twitter for your favorite fighter. There's a lot of gun emojis that be going on Twitter. A lot of threatening be going on Twitter. Commandment number 11, thou shalt not threaten people on YouTube if they disagree with you. This is what goes on YouTube. I know I've probably been threatened in more content creator in the history of YouTube. I'm willing to bet if I do a survey, there is no content creator that get threatened more than Coach Malachi Williams. That's been violation of commandment number 11. Thou shalt not threaten people on YouTube if they disagree with you. How many of you been threatened in the chat? Drop the Addy. Drop the Addy. 60, 40, 70, 30, 80, 20. Take whatever we give you. You better not come to the fight. We gonna put the magnum to your head. How many times you had that happen? I had a nigga from Virginia do that to me. I had a nigga from Texas do that to me. I had a nigga from New York do that to me. Had a dude from Ohio. Had a dude from Las Vegas. Literally, I can't make this up. Or Alabama, I can't make this up. Commandment number 12. Thou shalt not speak with double standards and hypocrisy. That goes on a lot. Double standards and hypocrisy. When it fits the narrative, we accept it. When it don't fit the narrative, we disregard it. They have a double standard. They'll say one fighter is not a star because he only sold 120, 30, 40,000 pay-per-views. But then when their fighters sell 120, 30,000 pay-per-views, they sit back and go to the other side. Double standards, hypocrisy, right? Commandment number 13, thou shalt only have permission to be a fanboy of an old school fighter. This is the only exception to the rules. Examples are Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, which is my favorite fighter of all time, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, which is my second favorite fighter of all time, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Salvador Sanchez, etc., etc., etc. If they're a retired fighter, you can be a fanboy of. Commandment number 14, thou shalt not race bait to push a personal narrative. Got a whole lot of race baiters on here. A lot of racist Hispanics online. Say a lot of racist shit against blacks. This is the truth. YouTube channels as well. They have a race haven for them. You got quite a few racist black channels who say racist stuff against non-black fighters as well as black fighters. We have some white YouTube channels that probably do the same. I'm not familiar with any, but I'm pretty sure they do. Right? But commandment, that's in violation of commandment number 14. A lot of these guys come over here, they race bait in order to push a personal narrative. A lot of these guys don't have daddies in their lives. They didn't grow up with their daddies. They don't know who their daddy is. They listen to a lot of Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed and Professor Black Truth, and they come from the conscious community. They are the YouTube Huey P. Newtons. Commandment number 15. Thou shalt not have a victimhood mentality and play the race card when you don't get your way. You see this go on all the time. Commandment number 15. Commandment number 16. I added this today. If you are over 40 years old, you do not have to say pause. Listen, I'm too old for that shit. Pause. That's a New York thing anyways. I'm too old to be saying pause. There's nothing suspect about me at all. I say some shit, I mean what I say. Period. However you interpret it is however you interpret it. But I'm not saying pause. I'm too goddamn old for that. Let them New York niggas have that. Them young niggas have that. That's a new commandment. Commandment number 17. Thou shalt not violate any of the commandments under no circumstances. These are the commandments that all of our subscribers must follow in order to be a subscriber of this channel. I had a couple of YouTube channels that used to subscribe to me that I ran their ass off the block. They're not subscribed anymore. Commandments was a little bit too much for them. They talk about me on their panels right now to this day, but guess what? They can't grow. They can't do a goddamn thing. I won't even mention them. They're not even worth mentioning. Mr. Come to your trap and take over your trap. Mr. Fuck the other side. We're gonna end the show in about another 10 minutes. So I'm gonna open up the phone lines again. Let's get the lights up. Open up the phone lines again. What we got? Okay, we got over 400. We good. Phone lines over 530-494-9636. So the moral of the story is this, guys. Guess what, man? Let's stick to the sport of boxing. We need to stop using numbers and other talking points as barriers for why we shouldn't get certain fights because you hate a fighter. I came up in the era where if you hate a fighter so much, that's all the reason why you should fight him. I never heard a fighter say back in the day, I'm talking about Marvelous Marvin Hagler, man, I hate doggone John the Beast Mugabe. I ain't gonna fight him because I hate him. I ain't gonna fight him because he wouldn't give me a shot at the title when I was a shorty. When I was a jitterbug, he ain't gonna give me, I don't like him. I ain't gonna fight him. That's more the reason why you should fight him, because you don't like him. Call us your name where you calling from.
What's up, Coach? It's Jerry.
Jerry, we got other calls gonna be calling in, so I need you to hit your points, my brother. Talk to me. Jerry from B-More.
I'm a Tank fan. As you know, I don't really care if that pay-per-view so good or not. These promoters and networks got to know that if they want to charge $80 for a fight, it has to be a marquee matchup. You know, nowadays everyone can see what's happening. They want you to pay to watch a fighter just because you like that fighter, never mind the opponent. And I'm not shitting on his opponent. He wasn't bad. Wasn't a bad fighter, but he was moving up. Wasn't a marquee matchup. So I wish Tank luck, but I don't wish luck on any pay-per-view that's not pay-per-view worthy. And if it sold 60,000, a lot of people streaming, people can consider this when it comes to Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. Imagine you're one half of a fight that's supposed to be the most anticipated matchup at welterweight since Manny and Floyd, and there's no guaranteed purse, none. Not a measly $3 million, not $2 million, not even $1 million. No guaranteed money. So I gotta rely exclusively on what the fight can sell. In this day and age, with boxing being so unpopular and people streaming, easy to see why Bud Crawford moved on from that. Anyway, that's all I got, Coach.
Man, shout out to Jerry from B-More, man. Salute to Jerry from B-More. Shout out to Rockman. Hey, okay. He said, what you say, Rockman? You say back end, pause. Yeah. I'm over 40, dog. I ain't saying pause no more. Hey, Rockman. Hey, if you over 40, you ain't gotta say pause. Shout out to Chickarelli. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam, doubling your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Chickarelli, what to say, family? He said we need to stop evaluating fighters based on star power. You say, we need to stop evaluating fighters' star power based on pay-per-views. Floyd, Oscar, Manny days are over. That's a thing of the past. Great show, Coach. Yeah, that's a thing of the past. And my thing is, but Floyd, that era is the one where really it was Floyd Mayweather. You know, what you're seeing online is a carryover from what the stuff that Floyd Mayweather used to say. But Floyd used to use it as a marketing tool in order to galvanize the audience to come see him win or to come see him lose. None of these fighters today are on that level. The only holdover from that era is Canelo Alvarez. He's the only one. In America, it's Canelo, and then it's everybody else up under that. That's just how I see it. For me, that's subjective to me. You get what I'm saying? But Carter, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach? It's the inevitable. D-Block, D-Town, D-City, D-Vent, Baltimore, stand up. Coach, I got to call and say one thing. Mm-hmm. One thing. I'm going to keep it cool. You said less than 2 minutes. I already called early. Do you really think this fight is good with Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis is it's just your full opinion, Coach? I mean, I know we're done with all that, but knowing that they're taking these pay-per-views and people are stealing them. Do you really think it's gonna make 500,000 or 400,000 pay-per-view? And I want to tell all these 10 cheaters out here. Yeah, go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No. Well, we really don't know. But I believe that if you have the right dance partner, I think that you can do 400,000 or 500,000 pay-per-view buys. I personally believe. Do I have any facts on it? No. But just my personal subjective belief, I believe that if Tank Davis, who has a track record of fighting on pay-per-view, and Ryan Garcia, who doesn't have a track record of fighting on pay-per-view, but I think that they have enough marquee value with their namesake, different audiences, that if they come together and fight each other, because both of them are the right dance partner, that would galvanize not only the casuals, but the boxing fans alike. And I think people will look at that as a product that's worth paying for.
And one real quick thing, two quick things. Canelo, after the Mayweather defeat, he fought Angulo. I think it was on pay-per-view. And I think he did over 300,000 pay-per-views, doing it on his own, you know what I mean? And he was under all those Floyd Mayweather pay-per-views. And also, to everybody that says that I hate Tank Davis, I want to let y'all know, I tried to steal the fight with my fire stick at my mama's house, but my mama's internet wasn't working, all right? So I had to pay for the fight. So I was one of those 60,000 people that bought the fight. So I represent Baltimore now. D-Block, D-Count, D-Count.
Shout out to D-Block.
Baltimore, stand up.
Let's get the super chats out of the way. Shout out to my sister Ficiana. Shout out to my sister Food Revolution. Always got to take time out to speak to the ladies. Shout out to my sister Anna Lee. Shout out to my sister Nick, Little Green Eyes P, and any other women that may be in the chat. Salute to all of the ladies. Shout out to Chickarelli for dropping that quarter. Oh, you already read that one. I already read that one. Shout out to Jamario. Dropping that half for bam, dubbing your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Jamario, what did you say, fam? He say, Coach, Tank pay-per-view numbers will continue to suffer unless he starts fighting superior competition that's pay-per-view worthy. His gates will sell out because the people want to see Tank. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But it always comes down to your dance partner, right? It always comes down to your dance partner. And when you have the right dance partner, that's when it's going to really be a spectacle. That's when it's really going to be a spectacle. And this is why I don't like the current boxing today. Because the current boxing today, you have these financial advisors, promoters today, especially in America, they block a lot of fights, networks and stuff like that. They block fights. They use these numbers that they don't prove is real outside of the gate to justify why we shouldn't see a fight. Well, he's not a pay-per-view star and this and that. Tim Smith, the perfect example of PBC. When Terrence Crawford's not a pay-per-view star, and his auntie is not, his baby mama not bow-legged, and his promotional company did not do a good job in making him a star, and that fight probably not going to happen. Like literally, this dude wrote a whole article, did an entire interview to justify not making the fight with Spence and Crawford. I've never seen nothing like this before in my life. I never heard Don King say, "Oh man, you know what, Bob? You know what, man, Holyfield, you don't sell a lot of pay-per-views, Holyfield, so you don't deserve a fight with Mike Tyson." I never heard Don King say, "Oh man, you know what, Pernell Whitaker, you ain't no box off pay-per-view star, so you don't deserve a fight with Julio Cesar Chavez." I never heard Don King or Bob Arum say, "Well, you know what, Sugar Ray, with John the Beast Mugabe, you really don't do good pay-per-views. You don't deserve a fight with Marvelous Marvin Hagler." But guess what? In 2023, Stephen Espinosa says it. Representatives of Mayweather Promotion say it, and all these clown-ass YouTube channels say it, and these other dudes that's these other old media. As Dante Boston Nation would say, old media reporters, they say the same thing. When they know better. Dan Rafael know better. Mike Coppingers know better. These guys that been around a long time, y'all know better. The D-Rod and YouTube channels, I get their position. They want to give you some awesome to their favorite fighter, favorite trainer, so they can get clicks and views on their YouTube channel and grow. I get that. I need access. I get the game. I get the hustle. But these niggas ain't nobody. None of them are. But in today's time, they take these same numbers, sources say, and use those as talking points for why other fighters don't deserve to get a fight with another fighter. And I'm supposed to be cool with that? As a fan of the sport of boxing? Come on, man. Let's give everybody a round of applause. And that's just the way I see it. So the moral of the story today is this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 different people giving out different pay-per-view numbers of what Tank Davis and Hector Garcia did. Fact of the matter is, no, we don't know. Because Showtime didn't officially say anything, and PBC didn't officially say anything. And everybody can't be right. So let's get back to boxing. I don't care who your favorite fighter is. I don't care who the A side, who the B side. I don't care if your auntie know how to do the Tootsie Roll. I don't care if your cousin don't know how to do the butterfly. I don't care if your sister don't know how to do the WAP. I don't care if your uncle don't know how to do the prep. I don't care about 60, 40, 70, 30, 80, 20. Sign the contract, take whatever we give you. I don't care if you got shooters. I don't care if you got homies. I don't care if you a blood crip gangster disciple on YouTube. I don't care if you're an internet gangster and you gonna pull up and you're gonna do A, B, C, and D. All I care about, dog, is nigga, can we get the top fighters to fight each other? Who doing that? What you say, Midwest boxing? My body did the heavy lifting. Ain't this something? That's all I care about. And I said time and time again, if you stand on the side of boxing, what do I say? You can never go wrong. We have commandments, we have a boxing criteria. Please get familiar with the commandments, because if you're new to the channel, you might want to reconsider. And if you're old to the channel, you can look at the commandments, and that's a way to keep yourself in check. I don't care what they say about me, as long as they say it. And as long as I am the topic of discussion on these other YouTube channels who hate my guts, that's all that matters to me. Because I use those guys to help us grow. I don't even watch them niggas, but I manipulate them to get them to help me grow. And they doing a really good job at it. So let's keep it boxing, guys. Let's keep it boxing. Don't listen to the foolishness. Don't listen to everything else. Let's just keep it boxing, man. And make it do what it do.
What's my name?
My name is nobody, and I don't live nowhere, and I don't know nothing. I don't know because I know that you gon' tell God on Jesus, kiss a Judas, silver pieces, monkeys acting in the monkey show. Gangsta monster killer, silverback. Where is your rap sheet? And that you never explains, moving fast, thinking slow. Dummy clown, silly Billy, need a hug, thugs on drugs, monkeys acting in the monkey show.
Shout out to my dog, Six Figure Johnny. We will have Johnny Rice on the show Monday.
Well, you know, I guess I gotta be like everybody else and sing Al Heyman. I can quit my job now, baby. 6 figures, baby. You feel me? I'm about to
But a name. Do you have a name?
Oh, nah, I ain't got no name, you know.
Name them names, man.
They know who they is.
Name them names, please. The names need to be named.
They know who they is.
The Mexican monster.
You ain't gotta like it, but you gonna respect it.
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it. Let's go. Stop playing with my fucking name. All 3 of y'all, stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more. Put some respect on my name.
Tell them niggas, man, to get their weight up. They ain't coming to see you, they coming to see me.
Hurting the group. I'm the best thing ever happened to this damn group.
Nobody's bigger than the group.
Y'all ain't stupid. I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me.
They coming to see the Temptations.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
You ought to know what time it is, man.
I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy.
Shout out to my dog, Booger Ray.
Make it last forever. Don't let I love you.
Hey, Fizzy ought to say, ew. I'm sorry, guys. I was so wrong. Shout out to my dog Booger Ray. You know what? I was so wrong for saying that. Let's dedicate this special prayer to me, because I was wrong.
And I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hand, because He helped Joshua fight the battle of Jericho. Yes. He helped Daniel get out the lion's den. He helped Gilligan get off the island. Lord.
Guess what? We don't want no niggas playing it. We want to see the top best fighters fight the best fighters. That's it. I don't care about 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, take whatever we give you, sign the contract. I don't care how many killers you got, because we all know soon the police come, you niggas will be telling on each other. So we ought to know that. There ain't nobody no goddamn killers. If you was a killer, your ass would be doing a life in prison right now. Cut it out.
We must internalize the flatulation of the matter by transmitting the effervescence of the Indonesian proximity in order to further segregate, to preclude on the issue of world domination, would only circumvent, circumcise the revelation that reflects the aphrodisiac symptoms which now perpetrates the Jericho's activation.
Hey, you know what, man? Before we go, anybody that don't like the commandments, this is for you.
Look, fuck you. Fuck the plane you flew in on. Fuck them shoes. Fuck the socks with the bell on it. Fuck them cheap-ass cigars. Fuck your yuck-mouth teeth. Fuck your hairpiece. Fuck your chocolate. Fuck Guy Ritchie. Fuck Prince William. Fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out of my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
And you know what? Today, Friday. You know what today is? Patrice Russian Fridays. And it's on as I Buckles Malachi Williams signing out. True Media Today, USA Boxing. The trolls. I really appreciate you guys for trying to troll, spam it. Also, let's give everybody a shout out who called into the show. Shout out to Blood Boxing. Shout out to Sid Jaffe from Virginia. Shout out to Swat Jones from Fort Worth, Texas. Shout out to Corey from Texas. Shout out to Major Key Boxer from Orlando, my brother. Shout out to Patrick from the UK. Shout out to Calvin from Illinois. Shout out to Two-Tone from Arizona. Shout out to D-Block from Dallas, Texas. Shout out to Martin from Oaktown. Shout out to Willie Cole, my brother from Houston, Texas. Shout out to Batman from DC. And shout out to Jared from B-More. I holler at you guys, man. We won't be going live tomorrow. I'm going to the fight. I'm going to the Antonio Tarver fight tomorrow, Antonio Tarver Jr. But I will be dropping the video. You know, it is what it is. Let them know, man. Let them know, man. We don't fake the funk over here, boy. We are the truth for a reason. We make them haters, and we make them help us grow through their hate. Shout out to my sister Nick Rich, Knockdown 305, Adrian, Little Green Eyes P, my sister Fistiana, Preacher Joe, Small Axe, the Boxing Scientist, and shout out to just everybody. If you don't like me, hate me, can't stand my guts, I'm cool with that too. Just come back, okay? We holler at you guys. See you guys tomorrow. Don't meet me there, beat me there.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.